I have abused drugs and alcohol for the past 30 years, man. I'm a drug and alcohol lover, and I cannot remember for the life of me or the life of my only child the answer.
Tonight, we're starting out our Oscar month covering some of the best films of 2025 that we haven't covered yet. Starting tonight with Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another.
Who is this?
I need the greeting code, Bob.
Oh, fuck. Well, I don't remember the fucking greeting code because I got a little bit high.
It has definitely been one of the most discoursed about films of the year, with its depiction of a radical left-wing group, the French 75, which tries to launch a short-lived revolution against an oppressive U.S. government that's locking up immigrants in detention camps, as well as anyone that tries to defy the government, and is secretly ruled by a secret society of white supremacists based on racial purification who appear to worship Santa Claus and call themselves the Christmas Adventurers.
Merry Christmas, Hail St. Nick.
Merry Christmas.
As well as an interracial, very warped love triangle between a black revolutionary, played by Teyana Taylor, named Perfidia Beverly Hills, a white revolutionary named Ghetto Pat, later changed to Bob Ferguson, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, and a sadomasochistic weirdo U.S. military colonel named Stephen J. Lockjaw, played by Sean Penn.
You like black girls? I love them. I love them.
Which leads to a mixed-race child, Willa, played by Chase Infiniti, who a lot of the action of the film revolves around. Once Perfidia Beverly Hills becomes a rat and escapes from witness protection after ratting out everyone else in the French 75, and the newly christened Bob and Willa Ferguson escaped to a sanctuary city named Bacton Cross, 16 years after the destruction of the French 75, although some operatives are still going, Stephen J. Lockjaw tries to join the Christmas Adventurers, but realizes he may have a mixed-race daughter out there somewhere that he needs to erase from existence.
There's an unconfirmed report that Colonel Stephen J. Lockjaw is the father of a mixed-race child. Which mix?
Loosely based on the Thomas Pynchon novel Vineland, which is a commentary on the war on drugs and the complete burnout the revolutionary generation of the 1960s had by the middle of the 1980s, with a similar story about a father and daughter fleeing DEA agents that had come back for them at the tail end of the war on drugs, after the girl's mother, who she has not seen since she was an infant, switched sides after becoming unbelievably attracted to a federal agent, and the revelation that the federal agent may be the girl's father. That basic skeleton, of course, is left to the film, but details are changed pretty dramatically by Paul Thomas Anderson, who puts the story in the present day, and instead of the war on drugs, substitutes it for the war on immigration that we're seeing right now. The film also stars Benicio del Toro as Sensei, the most competent revolutionary we see, as well as Regina Hall, JunglePussy, Alana Haim, Tony Goldwyn, James Ratterman, Kevin Teague, and Wood Harris.
Slow down, okay? My daughter, my fucking daughter left the house. She's not in the house with me, so you gotta give me more information.
Forrest here. Lady Champagne and her team have extracted Willa. She's safe.
Good. Okay, good. Keep her there.
The rendezvous points are the same as they've ever been.
The 16 years between the beginning of the story and the rest of the film sees Bob Ferguson becoming completely burned out off drugs and alcohol. Former revolutionary turned paranoid sad sack single father who has smoked and drank himself into oblivion. Willa does not know the true story of her mother and thinks she's a revolutionary hero rather than a rat who died in a blaze of glory. But that is dashed when Stephen J. Lockjaw descends on Bacton Cross and throws them back into the crossfire. In One Battle After Another, Sanctuary City means something a lot cooler than just city officials don't work with federal law enforcement on immigration matters. Willa's karate sensei, Sergio St. Carlos, has actually built a city full of tunnels. In fact, this movie is full of tunnels. Everyone has them. Bob Ferguson, the Christmas Adventurers, there are tunnels everywhere.
Risen with healing in his wings, while he lays his glory by, toward that man no more they die.
But Sergio has built a whole city that's designed basically as a stop on a new underground railroad. We see this in action, but in the background, as the main focus is on Bob Ferguson's incompetent attempts to rescue his daughter. In fact, pretty much every so-called father figure except Sergio in Willa's life is incredibly incompetent.
Are you having trouble remembering what you just read? If it's a straight line, I have a problem. If it's not, you have to let me go. God, there's no way I'm actually yours because I can actually fucking read.
When Stephen J. Lockjaw catches up to her, he can't even recall simple sentences he just said. going with the theme that this generation has completely failed and the next generation may have to bring in the revolution. This isn't Paul Thomas Anderson's first time adapting Pynchon. His 2014 neo-noir Inherent Vice became the first time a Pynchon novel was directly adapted for the screen, seen as a much more adaptable novel than most of Pynchon's other works. Paul Thomas Anderson also made this his most personal film to date, as the father of 4 children, 3 daughters and 1 son with Maya Rudolph, who is African-American and Jewish. It'll be enough to say that Anderson was personalizing a film about a white father raising a mixed-race daughter, but Anderson's oldest daughter, Pearl Minnie Anderson, is actually in the film playing one of the nuns at the nunnery Willa is brought to.
I can't do her hair, man. You know that? I don't know how to do her hair right.
Well,
One Battle After Another was filmed with VistaVision cameras, pushing that 1950s technology to the limit with 1.5 million feet of 35mm film. VistaVision was brought back really for the first time in decades after George Lucas revived it for the original trilogy in the 70s. It became extremely popular again and was revived once again last year when The Brutalist was shot with VistaVision cameras, as well as Giovanni Ribisi, who restores old cameras for a hobby, shooting Strange Darling with VistaVision cameras. It was also used on Begonia this year. VistaVision is a special film technique where the camera rotates the film magazine 90 degrees so it's fed horizontally rather than vertically, like Super 35 would be, which creates a much wider frame and really opens it up for those wide shots. One Battle After Another is up for Best Picture, Best Actor for Leo, Best Supporting Actress for Teyana Taylor, Best Supporting Actor for Benicio del Toro and Sean Penn, Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Original Score for Johnny Greenwood, Best Editing, and Best Sound.
Why is your shirt so tight?
I'm not gay, if that's what you're saying.
I didn't say that.
I'm not a homosexual.
I did not say that.
Before I introduce the panel, please like this video and subscribe to the Movie Night Extravaganza YouTube channel. Then hit that bell to get notified whenever we're streaming. Super chats are now open. If you have any pressing questions, send us a super chat, which helps me maintain the expenses for the show, which I am obligated by the rules of the Geneva Convention to stop everything and ask the panel. Another way to help us out is to become a patron and give us money every month. In exchange, you get access to all of our after parties, bonus content, and we'll tell you even more movies we watched recently. Patreon.com/Movie Night Extra. We have a Movie Night Extravaganza Discord. There's an invite link in the episode description, and we have a Letterboxd HQ account. So those are 2 more places to follow along with us. Our show gets simulcast, or if we're not on it at regular time, played later on This Space. This Space is a working class independent media collective, youtube.com/thisspacetv. Subscribing really helps out, or even more, sharing content from This Space and encouraging others to do the same. By working together, we can break through the algorithm. Okay, let me introduce the illustrious panel. Conan Neutron is the co-host and senior producer for Movie Night Extravaganza, host of Protonic Reversal, an independent Film Critics of America film critic, and the frontman for the band Conan Neutron and the Secret Friends. Check out his music at neutronfriends.bandcamp.com. Kristina Oakes is a co-host of Movie Night Extravaganza, a streamer on Twitch, twitch.tv/cosmopolitics, a host at This Space, hosting Kristina's Corner, and is across social media at Cosmopolitics and on Letterboxd at Kristina. Forrest and Kristina have a second show, The Absurdity Space, live on This Space on Wednesdays at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. Eileen Jones is a film critic for Jacobin Magazine, the co-host of the FilmSuck podcast, patreon.com/FilmSuck, and the author of FilmSuck USA. I am, of course, your host and the radio mouthpiece for the Front 75, Forrest Miller. You like black girls? I love them. I love them.
That's one of the most unnerving supermarket interactions I think I've ever seen in a film, frankly.
I'd be like, get away from me. Are you, sir, are you okay?
It's the only moment in the entire film that
at the same time.
They interact.
Yeah.
And DiCaprio's response to that is amazing. It's just like, what the?
I'm like, wait. And then it started to click. He's like,
yeah, it's the correct response that a human being would have.
But my question is, do you think in that moment he knows that that's lockjaw? Like, is he aware of who that? I
think he's still. The wool is still too heavy in his brain to immediately pick up on that. But I mean, and we'll get into that. But it is. I mean, that's a great meme format. That's a great. It's a great interaction showcasing two wonderful performances that are both a little out of character of what the people normally do. For a very interesting movie, there's a lot to discuss about. Eileen, welcome back.
Thank you.
It's great to have you.
Glad to be here.
I like
for this movie, which I love.
You become like a regular contributor, like once a month or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Semi-regular.
Well, yeah, and also it's nice to be able to kick off award season, which we're officially in. Everybody, merry award season for all who celebrate, and do with the movie we all really like. That's good. Like I feel like there's less dire entries this year than others, but maybe I'm just being a little too positive. You know, groundhogs. You know, not seeing the shadow or whatever.
Just to do this in the front half of this, I guess.
Get the discourse out of the way, right?
No, just so people know.
Here's what we're doing. Sure.
Yeah. Here's our. So of course tonight, one battle after another. If you know that, if you're here, you know that.
It's in the name of the thing you clicked on. So yeah.
And then Wicked for Good next week, which is not nominated, but that's our snub. Every year we have like a snub, a snub one that we want to do. Marty Supreme, which apparently goes to. We were just talking about this on the space. Goes to video on demand apparently on the 10th. So we'll be right in time, hopefully, to be able to
we can do
so they're letting regular humans see it, huh? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What the concept?
And not just
New Yorkers.
And not just people that are in a movie theater where half of the people are Jewish and half of the people are Asian.
Where half the people are in the movie in New York where they showed. Anyway, whatever. You know what?
No, I realized after watching it, because it was Christmas Day in Long Island. Half of the people in the movie theater were probably Jewish, half were probably Asian American. Yeah. So it's like you watch that on screen. I wonder who was rooting for who, but I don't know. After that, Blue Moon, Begonia, and The Secret Agent. Just thought I would plug all. You like bald girls?
All right, that's good. That's fun.
Yeah, just thought I'd plug those up front so everybody knows what we're doing and we're all on the same page for.
It's going to be an exciting month.
So I noticed you snubbed. You're not doing Hamnet. That's interesting.
You're goddamn right. We're not.
Oh, did you hate it? Did you hate it?
I despise that movie.
Oh,
it's like
I hated it up to the end, and then it worked, and then I'm like, God, I guess I have to rethink it. But anyway.
Look. Like it's what I did is I made the cardinal sin of saying, "Hey, it's cool. There's no movies in serious contention I hate this year," and then I saw Hamnet, and I was like, I could not stand it.
Jinx
I
yourself.
was just surprised they're not covering F1.
I
F1.
know. That's the one everyone wants us to cover.
I would rather cover F1 than Hamnet.
Cargo's Room. What else? Is
I also
isn't that best sound editing?
Like, I saw the
and Best Picture, which is like
I guess Will Maneker,
and no other choice is not on there, of course. But yeah, we got F1 in there.
Will Maneker from Chapo posted the like the guy standing up that's like going against the wave. And it was like I really enjoyed F1 as
Anyway, those you can hear about those other movies on those other episodes. We got so much to talk about with this movie. Which was such a nice surprise. I am a little Paul Thomas Anderson agnostic, largely, for most of his movies. There's a few of them I really like, and some that kind of miss me entirely. I've never been a hater, necessarily. But Eileen, you were.
I was. The master did it. Oh, my God. And so, but now I love this movie so much, and I haven't had a chance yet, but I have to watch everything else because I have to completely.
See, I did that for the
Boogie Nights.
I filled my head with stuff. I watched I watched Boogie Nights the first time when I was 12, and it was like one of the only things.
That's actually when you're supposed to watch it. But
yeah, one of the only things that was constantly on Netflix, and I didn't have like cable or anything like that, so I was I was always trying to watch whatever was on Netflix. And Boogie Nights, I was like, oh, this 70s porn movie looks good.
Oh no, this is a movie about disco.
I watched Magnolia. I watched Punch Drunk Love. I watched just like to do this, There Will Be Blood. Like I kind of went down a Paul Thomas Anderson deep dive. I rewatched Licorice Pizza, which is crazy to think about jumping from Licorice Pizza, which controversial for completely different reasons. Even though sure. than this movie. But like looking at the direction that he was going with Licorice Pizza, I would not have expected that he was going.
Yeah,
in this
it's like very left field. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's such a like frivolous like nostalgia movie, right? And this is so much edgier and like dark in a lot of places. And, like,
I didn't think he had it in him, frankly. I'm not gonna lie. I really didn't think, and I say that as someone, I actually do quite enjoy Punch Drunk Love. I would have enjoyed Magnolia more if I had never seen Robert Altman's Shortcuts, which he shamelessly ripped off for that. But you know, I've just never understood the veneration for him as a filmmaker, I suppose. I mean, I'm the one person that apparently that just really didn't like Phantom Thread at all. And it did nothing for me. But I think it's interesting that, you know, Eileen's you're a tough sell for PTA, and yeah, you came out like really digging this one. And
I got to the point where I was like, you know what, he should be a cinematographer. Everything always looks phenomenal. But I just couldn't stand his worldview, and what really irritated me is he a quote from him. He said, "I tend to be interested in old weird America," and I was like, "But I'm interested in old weird America. So how come I don't?
Where
hate
is
you.
it? Yeah,
I don't recognize your version."
This is a very. I feel like his is a very, at times, right, a very normie look at old, like what he considers old weird is maybe not, but it does make a lot of sense why Altman is somebody that he really fixates on.
Yeah,
I mean, not just not just because he's obsessed with the 70s and Altman's best work. A lot of it was, you know, in the middle of the 70s, but also the fact that
Popeye, that's his masterpiece, that's his magnum opus. What are we talking about?
But no, but like the fact that there's just these kind of subcategories that he's really into. I mean, like the sexual revolution, but then he doesn't really have that much to say about the sexual revolution per se in like Boogie Nights, right? Like this feels more prescient, I guess. In some ways, looking at stuff in this, and I mean, we'll get to this. I have like notes that I wrote down and everything. There's a lot of references to the 70s within this movie, although none of it takes place.
I mean, because most, if you really think about leftist revolutionary groups they peaked in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, the French 75 is obviously modeled on the Weather Underground, which I think people had a lot of issues knowing that specifically, because it's like people assume they were based off of like the Black Panthers, which they're not. They're the Weather Underground.
Well, and it's Pynchon, which he did a more direct adaptation with Inherent Vice, which I couldn't stand, by the way. It looked great, but I despise the experience of watching it as a movie. Peace and love. But it's a very loose adaptation of Vineland, which is an interesting book. I'm hot and cold with Pynchon. Sometimes I love it. Sometimes it's like a joyless slog. Apparently, same thing with PTA, by the way. But this one, but I think it's people get hung up on being an adaptation. I think it's to the detriment of the enjoyment of the movie, because this is very much a movie of the moment, even though it's not of the moment. And I think that's like more so now than when it even came out in the months since it came out, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
now
we all saw it the first time in theaters, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Because
I got to see it in that Vistavision, which kicked ass.
Yeah, I wish I got to see it in that Vistavision. I saw it at like my local theater, so it was, you know, it was a little bit. It was not the impressive Vistavision, but and I was sitting next to a redneck that was fast cold asleep. I was telling that story in the Discord the other day.
Why do people go and fall asleep at loud movies? And how? How do they do this?
But I saw Fantastic. The only good Fantastic Four movie that came out last year, right? The guy came in, he fell asleep right behind me, and was snoring so loudly, and I'm like, is this the only time you can get some sleep during a loud movie?
I was seated.
Go see F1. It's louder.
I was very pushed up to the front row because I was in a packed theater, like my local theater, and I was watching on screen, already like too close to the screen, and the guy that was next to me and like his wife was like locked in like the whole time. I could hear her laughing, but this guy was this massive like redneck guy wearing a hunting cap was just next to him.
Yeah.
I know, and for this is the liveliest, funniest, edgiest,
like
most action-packed Paul Thomas Anderson you can imagine.
Like the whole middle section is it kind of almost
never stops moving.
Yeah, like you know, the whole like middle section where it's like there's just chaos, there's a lot going on, you know, they're trying to escape and all that. And I'm like, it's kind of almost giving like a Nora in a way, like that one whole half where there's just stuff continuously happening.
It's got that percussive score that goes on and on for the longest time. Like how anyone can sleep through that? Jesus.
Yeah, well, and I know
in your teeth.
Greenwood's you know, an avowed Zionist, which is a bummer, but this is a great score. Like this is the music does so much. And one of my problems with Hamnet, which is going to catch a few more strays here, it's so overwhelming, derogatory. Like it's not a good kind of overwhelming. And it's like, no, you're taking the music is like taking the place of the storytelling. It's telling you how to feel in like a bad way. And I don't feel like that's the case with this one. I feel like Greenwood did such an interesting job of adding to the intensity and the tension of what's happening and not have it be overbearing. And except for when it needs to be overbearing, which is what you want for a score. And it's notable in a good way, like where it's like, oh wow, that's, and especially coming to things because realize I'm kind of things as a musician, right? I mean, and that's something that I pay close attention to. And there are otherwise great movies that I can't. I just can't.
Yeah.
And I acknowledge that they're very well made, but I can't. I just miss me with that. And most of them have Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, right. He is awesome.
Yeah, I think that this movie makes a lot of sense when you look at like his commentary around it, Paul Thomas Anderson, and the idea that this is his action comedy, right? Like every movie it feels like he does is in a different subgenre. Like I mean, Punch Drunk Love is obviously his romantic comedy. He's done like a more gritty, like No Country for Old Men style movie, obviously with There Will Be Blood. This is his action comedy. And it makes a lot of sense that he was talking in this interview that I watched about how he's taken his kids more recently to see both like Mission Impossible and like, even like the Marvel Avengers kind of movies. And he's looking at those and going like, oh, I want my big kind of on the screen version of this, which is crazy because the craziest part of this action comedy part is the car chase, which almost didn't happen. They found the kills. And that's when they're like, all right, we need to end this movie.
Which is an amazing arch, an amazing section.
Oh my god!
Yeah, just south of Slabtown, it's not Antelope Valley. It's like it's further. It's Monument Valley. No, it's not Monument Valley. It's further down. It's like towards San Diego, but like lower Palm Desert, Indio. Amazing area that has those great rolling hills and having like that sequence, which I'm sure we'll talk about more.
Yes, let's.
It's really amazing. Like it's so well done and so interesting and unique. Like and I've seen so many movies and so many chases.
So many chase scenes. That's what I told everyone. I've seen 10,000 chase scenes. And this, I've never seen anything like it. Nothing has that mesmerizing movement, which guess what that's like? Ocean waves, Bob.
Ocean waves, Bob. Ocean waves. I love that. And real quick, just to go back to a point, I sounded like a psychopath because I was laughing my ass off in the theater, and everyone else was just like stone faced. I'm like, what's going on? Like, I get like the being overwhelmed by it, but I was like, okay, this. I mean, whatever.
Maybe this is not the movie to be high on watching, considering Leo during this whole movie was paranoid as fuck.
So funny.
Yeah, if you're
he was hearing the score in his head.
All the phone conversations with Comrade Josh are just
you are not a comrade, sir.
That's like locked into the hell that is like our modern experience, right?
Customer
of just like two-factor authentication and like lost passwords. Yeah, representative.
Not to I guess take things into a more I don't know, like whatever direction. But the second that Leo's on the phone with the picture behind me is of this, and he calls Comrade Josh fucking retarded. That was the moment that felt like such a prescient, like this is a 2025 movie. We're having these discourses about like anti-woke, and he also calls him a fucking liberal. He's like, you fucking liberal, and he's It's like it feels like even that felt extremely prescient. When I saw it, it was the same time that the first round of like LA ice raids was happening, and I assume for you guys it was probably the same. So it like the prescience of it like was overwhelming. Like I left there and I was like left with this sense of like both overwhelming dread and also kind of like exhilaration from the actual movie itself.
Well, no, what it captures is the dread, the terror, the horrible, and the ludicrous, the clownish, the ridiculous, which is exactly how we're living now all the time, right?
Yeah.
Saying, if we were ever going to get taken over by fascists, I just didn't think it would be this stupid. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And somehow competent at the same time while being incompetent.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the Doctor Strangelove as much as the Battle of Algiers of it all, right? Which is to say that like stuff that was considered high farce and like, well, that's not a laughing matter at the time. But like, no, we're living through that now.
I used to write in reviews all the time. Where are our black comedies? Why aren't we just seeing black comedy? We're living black comedy. Why aren't we seeing a huge wave of them like in the 60s and 70s?
Yeah, Hollywood War, really good war black comedy.
the Oscars. I mean, not just the Oscars, but like we feel like we're kind of flush with them. I mean, Eddington got snubbed for the Oscars, but Eddington was another one that felt like it really
for living in Eddington.
Another one I was laughing like a psychopath in, and no one else was. I'm like, what's wrong with you people?
Okay, Max, Katie.
I know. I was like
arguments was a cigar.
Also, the way that they chose to write Begonia, there's three big kind of like massive.
Finally have arrived. Yeah.
Yeah. And the interesting thing to me about Begonia and about Eddington is that Ari Aster actually chose to executive produce Begonia, and then the former Onion writer that wrote Eddington actually produced whatever, vice versa. But they produce each other's films, is what I'm saying.
There's like a cross hatching. No, and that makes sense, right? Because like if you think about it tonally, like whether you enjoy the movies or not, there's like a common cause, like with all of them, which is just like using black comedy in unique ways for this like really effed up moment.
Yeah. Should we get into
the real quick, Josh from Afternoon Tune, and then the comments. Real quick questions. Eileen Jones owned a guy named Connor Kilpatrick. My guest co-host said his cousin wrote for Jacobin.
Yes, he's one of my editors. Yes, I know him very well.
He's a friend of a friend too. I kind of know him a little bit as well.
Yeah, I know him from he used to come on the Jacobin show all the time when I was there.
And I do not know him, so
Kristina does not. So 3 out of 4 panelists answering that. Narrow casting to one person in the chat. Thank you.
We're trying out this new format where I'm going to do 2 paragraphs.
We're doing the rotating villain strategy the Democratic Party does with the synopsis.
All right, Chuck Schumer, you're up. Go.
Hello.
Hello.
Ghetto Pat Calhoun and Perfidia Beverly Hills. I love the name Perfidia Beverly Hills. I mean, we'll get into it as time goes on, but I adore that name. Are members of a far-left revolutionary group, the French 75. While breaking out detained immigrants from Otay Mesa detention center, Perfidia sexually humiliates the commanding officer, Stephen J. Lockjaw, who afterwards becomes obsessed with her.
I would too.
Me too.
Sure. Yeah.
He's so, and there's something deeply uncomfortable about a lot of stuff with there, but that first scene where she's just graphically humiliating him and making his dick stand up while he walks out with the hands behind him, right? Like watching it in a theater full of people, you're instantly kind of thrown into it, and you're like, oh, all right, I guess
like, what happened?
Yeah, because it kind of subverts expectations, like almost right at the starting block. Because it's like, what? Oh, okay. What's happening? What is this?
But even before she does anything, she's so sensational on screen. I had forgotten it. You see, she's in the opening shots, and you're just like, what a face, what a body. She's so intense.
Lashes.
Oh my god. Yeah.
But you look at her first shots of her that you see, right? Where she's running, she's training herself. She's really in great shape. I mean, obviously, she's Teyana Taylor.
That's why she's been wearing those awesome gowns at the award shows.
But she's like, she's really preparing herself mentally and physically for this thing. And then you get Leonardo DiCaprio, who's just like, what am I doing? Where am I? Like,
he's just a schlubby dude, right? Like,
he's just not cute anymore, man. Leo, what happened?
But it's leaning into it in a way that I think is very cool and very brave, because he's a schlubby dude that's clearly punching above his weight class in that relationship. And everybody knows it. But the thing is, and especially at the beginning, he's the explosives man. He's the guy with like that.
He's the explosives guy. Exactly.
Yeah.
And you get to not only hear about it, you get to literally see it in a very cool sequence. But you also see that even at this at like his peak element, he's still like a little bit like, what are we doing? What's happening? Like he's still kind of like a little lost. And this is like at his best, right?
Well, but you also see the various roles within this revolutionary group where Teyana Taylor goes straight for Lockjaw, like the commanding officer of the thing. And the entire time, Ghetto Pat, Rocket Man, is on the outside of the enclosure that they're in, basically the ICE detention camp. He's on the outside of it shooting, and it's impressive, right? Like he shoots the explosives, and it's like it looks cool, but it's not actually contributing material. Like I don't know, like it adds to a sense of that kind of terrorism that throughout the 70s, especially with explosives and things that really kind of scare the shit out of people. But he's not materially contributing in the same way that everybody else is letting out the immigrants that are in there or putting somebody in. And he's literally just on the outside of the enclosure. He's kind of on the outskirts of this entire revolutionary struggle.
And I love,
but it's
it's
the thing everybody sees, though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I think everybody sees.
But he's always behind. Like when he'll start shouting "Viva la Revolution" and stuff, he's always a little late. Like after the moment has passed.
You're right. It's like 10 seconds after the moment passed.
Like
right.
it's kind of in a way making fun of like white leftist revolutionary types, because it's like we're always kind of like late to the party and we're not doing all the hard work. I mean, look at when disability rights activists needed help, who was there to help? Black Panthers. No white folks.
Yeah, there's a certain type of well-meaning, leftist-leaning person that is always. This is very well represented in this movie as well.
Yes. And what could be more inherently funny than he's
I mean, is there anything that like someone who is left-leaning likes more than someone's lighting up the screen with a caricature of bad like?
I think that's why a lot of white folks
leftism.
white leftists hate this movie. It's like,
really? I didn't even know that. Really?
I don't understand that.
God,
I mean, like whatever.
I
Sense of
think
humor.
But it's also like the classic thing with the Weather Underground, which is that they were the ones that took all of the the revolution throughout the 60s and 70s too far. Whereas like they were actually exploding buildings, ended up exploding more of themselves in a lot of cases than anybody else, because they were constantly making these homemade explosives, and then the building would blow up and you'd hear like, oh, 3 people were found dead in this building because they exploded themselves. So it is this role within this revolution that like a lot of time, including there's a famous clip of Fred Hampton talking about how unhelpful the Weather Underground has been, because he's like, this is violence for the sake of violence. It's not contributing to any community struggle.
But before we move on, I do want to note that I think it's interesting and an attribute to the movie that it's not immediately clear what time period that it is. Like it's sort of, you're like, okay, this seems like 90s. To be nearish to the present, but is not actually present, which of course we find out later that it most certainly is not. But I think that works well. And I saw some people like critiquing that, which is like, okay. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you're never. First of all, you're never going to make anybody happy, apparently. But it's just like, how many times have we seen movies about like this kind of thing happening in the 70s? Great, I love those movies. But like, do you understand that this stuff has happened in other decades and continues to happen? Yeah. Just why I wanted that How to Blow Up a Pipeline movie to be better, which I liked it, but I was like, wow, what if this was a great movie though? Instead of like a really good movie, like and it wasn't. It was pretty good. It was a pretty good movie. I liked a lot of aspects of it, and I was like, yeah, but if this would have been a great movie, it could have been a generationally great movie.
We need General Strike proceeds to rip from Bong after sending tweet.
That's like half the people I knew in Oakland. But anyway,
that's literally so many people. I'm like, you do realize it could take weeks, maybe months to actually do a legit general strike. Like you can't be doing this shit.
It would take way longer than that. It takes
like that's why I don't understand. People are like general strike tomorrow, and I'm like, no.
That's a funny example of stuff. So
because they're thinking back of the glory days of like Occupy, which I was there for that, by the way. But I was like, that's because everyone's already mobile. And you know what? This is a different podcast. Whatever. Let's move on.
No Kings protest 2 months to stop from that.
It really bothered me a little. I loved the movie so much it didn't bother me a lot, but it did bother me a little. The kind of we're clearly supposed to be a little lost in time, or not lost, but he's trying not to too firmly place it. But when I saw it a second time, I loved it. I'm like, no, it's such a commentary on an ongoing pattern that repeats and repeats. Obviously,
which is why that line hits so fucking hard. That it's when Sensei says, "Oh, we've been laid seeds for hundreds of years. You did nothing wrong." Yeah. It's like this isn't in a continuum that goes back, since the days of the first settlers that came here and started displacing natives. Like that, like that's how far back the struggle goes.
And just that wonderful moment where Bob is queuing up Battle of Algiers for the 50th time, and it's the 50th time, and you're just like, oh, he has got us nailed so hard.
Yeah, he's dude. Yeah, it's so again sound like a cackling loon in the theater when I saw that because I was like, that is right on the money, right?
Perfect.
He's always saying the lines in English. He's like, he's like the revolution. I forget the line that he says exactly from Battle of Algiers. He's saying it along with him saying it in French and English.
We are not remotely close to it in the plot summary, but I do want to mention now because I'll probably forget otherwise, which is to say that one of the many things I like about Benicio del Toro as the sensei character is that if you look at like the activities of what's actually happening, it's like when you look at Big Trouble in Little China and you realize, oh, Kurt Russell's the sidekick. It's like, no, Leo's the sidekick. And that, like, he's not like the big revolutionary here. I think it's a little more apparent in one battle after another that, like, okay, this is a guy doing, changing people's material conditions on a daily basis, like putting everything on the line to cause legitimate actions that have real meaning and consequence, as opposed to, again, like you're saying, Eileen, just following the Battle of Algiers for the 20th time and hitting the bong,
Well, and just having a network of allies that's everywhere who are ready to act when you need them, and expecting constant defeats, constant obstacles. It just rolls off, and you're just like, no, this is what we should be aiming at. He's so clearly modeling what a revolutionary should be in his quietly humorous way. And
it's like Goofus and Gallant almost, right?
It's such a profound, it's right after the line that I said, there's such a profound moment where he says, don't be selfish to Bob, because Bob is so caught up in his own, I have to find my daughter. I'm this guy that was in the French 75. He's caught up in the nitpicking on the cell phone. He's caught up in his own story. And Benicio del Toro says, we've been laid siege for hundreds of years. You did nothing wrong. Don't be selfish. And it's like that is such a perfect distillation of like the white savior thing kind of getting healed down by this movie, where it's like, no, you're just one guy. You're asking for help. We're your allies. We're gonna help you, obviously, but this is not just your struggle.
And again, it's way ahead in the plot summary, but you see it with the network, like with the network of people that are helping them. Like, oh yeah, have you had your medication?
Yes.
And it's like, say no, say yes, dummy. Yeah,
that was beautiful.
He's like, what?
Which is it's played so well, and that's collective action, right? That's rather than the individualistic, especially the great man white savior stories, which. The movie's so good that even if it was about that, I still might like it. But the fact that it is a total upending of that is laudable for a big budget blockbuster.
This year got a lot of plaudits for kind of like being the death of the white savior. In like multiple movies, right? Like this movie, and then Eddington kind of sending that up, where it's like the actual struggles going on outside with the the protests, and then also we go like so there's a bunch of movies that kind of did that kind of send up.
That
of, like,
time.
Overdue. Yeah. God knows.
So Pat and Perfidia become lovers. I really like that the first person in this movie to say you like black girls is Perfidia Beverly Hills. She says to him in the car, "You think you like black girls? You like black girls?" And then he's like, "I love black girls." He's just pumping on adrenaline. When Lockjaw catches Perfidia planting a bomb, he releases her after she agrees to his demand to have sex with him. It's such an interesting. He says to her in the bathroom when she catches her, he's like, "I don't care if you plant that bomb. Like, I don't care what you destroy. It's like I'm trying to fuck."
Which is like, isn't this your job to care about that?
Yeah.
But it's also, she's always in control. She's that, and that's something that I feel like the quote unquote discourse about it. It's an underwritten character, blah blah blah. It's like she's in control in every situation. Does she always make the quote unquote right decision? No, definitely not. But
pretty much never.
I support black women's rights and black women's wrongs.
Especially hers.
Which is what makes her a complex character. How you can think that after the letter is read at the end, even if you're somehow thinking it early on. Once the letter is read, it undoes everything. How much was youth and the sheer hottitude of being a revolutionary, which you see all over the place. The skaters who are just in a state of ecstasy. It's like, yes. Yeah. And poor Bob stumbling after them. It's just it's no longer an ecstatic process to be a revolutionary.
When they're doing like the parkour, and he just eats it so hard. Again, howling, laughing in the theater.
Oh, I was dying.
I was like, that's amazing. That's like, like when you lose in a video game, you just like get got. It's like, oh no, I ain't getting around that.
Another time that's like another time that's so apparent on screen is between the head nun at the nunnery and Regina Hall's character, where she's clearly like on her last legs, but then the one nun is like, I got tired of this shit a long time ago, and she's and like you can sense the Regina Hall. I don't. Do we even? I think we had find out her name at one point, but her character,
Leandra? It's something unlikely.
Yeah. Not like super memorable, unfortunately, but it's a great performance. But it's meant to be like a character that is not like foregrounded that much too.
I think supposed to be the most honest portrayal. Like she is the revolutionary. Like there's nothing, I guess, over the top or duplicitous or kind of everyone else has all these other things going on. She's supposed to be the most loyal to the revolution, which she survives until like the last part of it.
Yeah, Deandra. You're right, Deandra.
After Perfidia gives birth to a girl named Charlene, Pat tries to persuade her to settle down, but she instead abandons Pat and Charlene to continue her revolutionary activities. She is caught after murdering a security guard in an armed bank robbery, which is like it's such a like kind of devastating scene where it's like that moment where things get too real because you have JunglePussy who whose
real name is JunglePussy, by the way. They're like, you know what? That's a good code. That's a good like fake revolutionary name. Let's keep it.
Well, no, Paul Thomas Anderson saw her. She opened for, I believe she opened for Tame Impala, and Paul Thomas Anderson was at the, because of course Paul Thomas Anderson was at the Tame Impala concert.
Good representation of Sacramento, California, just getting downtown blown up. By the way, that is Sacramento. Again, maybe squint hard enough, you can still see Lady Bird hanging out. But
yeah, so what if Lady Bird's by the car?
Exactly. Whoa.
Some amazing fucking helicopter shots throughout that.
This car chase scene is intense, and it's intense because it feels real too, especially when they crash and it's like, oh yeah, that's anyone coming away from that's coming away with some serious neck problems. It doesn't feel like cartoon violence at all.
Well, you especially feel it because it violates the rhythm. You start losing your sense of what you're doing because it's so mesmerizing, the feeling of going up and down the hills in this endless hypnotic that after a while, her breaking out and doing something seems like the most amazing when she just runs and you're like, okay, I just thought we'd go on forever.
All the action in this is like super well done, and it's interesting, even though like the actual geography, like to the point that like with the geography of like so where we're at now with the bank robbery, that's Sacramento. The place with the hills, that's like on the lower Indio on the way to San Diego. Where they live is Eureka. It's Humboldt County. So like the geography of California being a state, this 2/3 the East Coast size. Like none of this stuff is remotely close together, by the way.
Yeah.
But you never question it, and you never question it because the storytelling is so strong.
Well, and then the Bacton Cross, the actual village of it is El Paso.
Yeah, it's El Paso. Yeah. Which makes sense, and there is like equivalence for that.
They took a building that already existed, trapdoor into. I have a clip of Paul Thomas Anderson talking about this, so we can watch it. They put a trapdoor into a building that already existed, and then built the frame around it, which is incredible. They built like they pretty much just rearranged an entire building for that scene, for that sequence.
So and we'll get to that because I love the actual military guy's amazing. But like she murders the security guard, which like frankly like dude, come on, what are you doing? Like he
keeps crawling.
Don't do that. He keeps crawling. Just keep crawling.
It's that moment where things get too real, right? Like because the entire time we have seen her. We have seen them take people and bring them into the vans. We've seen them humiliate Lockjaw. We've seen them blow up the bank. But they always do the thing that the Weather Underground often did, where you call first and you're like, "We're gonna blow up your
because of this, this, and this is gonna happen." Right?
Fun fact. I did a quick little research. Most of the Weather Underground members are still alive and well in their 80s.
Yes. Well, there was the famous thing where Bill Ayers from the Weather Underground.
Yeah, he became a professor.
And then and they kept going on, Obama's best friend, Bill Ayers, which on the other side of that, right, is so fucking funny.
Oh no, it's deeply hilarious.
It's like, Weather Underground, like
noticed leftist revolutionary Barack Obama. Come on,
Barack Hussein Obama.
I think that was the first time I heard of the Weather Underground as like when I was like a lot younger was Bill Ayers.
I just knew about like the Patty Hearst thing. That's about it.
Well, that's the SLA. I have something to talk about with that actually. But I want to say. Lockjaw arranges for her to avoid prison in exchange for the names and whereabouts of key French 75 members. Perfidia enters witness protection, while Lockjaw uses the information she provided to hunt down and summarily execute her comrades. So one of those things is the SLA shootout, the famous one that killed their leader. I forget the name of their leader, where it was a building in they threw a bunch of those like flash bombs into the bottom of this of the building, and a bunch of the SLA members that had kidnapped Patty Hearst were stuck under the building, and the building caught fire, and they were still trying to shoot while the building burned, and then obviously the building fell and crushed them all. But the Wood Harris scene, where Wood Harris is is shooting out from under that building. That is the exact replication of the SLA shootout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So it's interesting to see those kinds of tableaus and the sort of historical elements brought into this narrative fiction in such a way because it does feel very real. One of the reasons why is because it is pulled from actual real events.
Yeah,
it's just not trying to biopic those events.
And also, too, not to say anything, but I mean, I did some digging, and I've never really seen much of like government feds, whatever, killing like white supremacist right wingers a whole lot. It's mostly just like attacking like the left wing militant groups.
Yeah,
it was actually a big deal in the 60s when I think it was cover for all the other stuff that they were doing, but Lyndon Johnson asked Hoover to go down south and start arresting KKK members, and Hoover was like, "Oh, I don't think that's really what I want to use my resources on." He's like, "Come on, they're killing people. You got to go down and do it." And it's like
killing white. Hey, white allies were getting killed too.
So he really reluctantly went down to Mississippi and Alabama and made a show of like some of those Ku Klux Klan members getting, but he's like, the sheriffs aren't talking to us. And it's like, I wonder why, Hoover. I wonder why the sheriffs.
Also, half the time, a lot of those like Ku Klux Klan members were getting killed by like their own like other like Klan members and shit like that too. Which is
they all
funny.
have the same beef that they've always all had the same beef that leftists do, where it's like a circular firing squad, where people are like, "Oh, well, you're not racist enough." Right?
Sometimes I doubt your commitment to racism. Yeah, okay.
Sometimes I doubt your commitment to racial purification.
Exactly. Well, and that's so. Again, newsflash, everybody: FBI not always even-handed. Let's put it that way.
Really?
We all wish it was Dale Cooper and Scully and Mulder, but it isn't.
There's been a lot of stuff written about Hoover being like mortified by the idea that he would have to go down south. He's like, I don't want to go down there. Down there where the
I'm a closeted gay man. What do you think's gonna happen to me?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
French 75 member Howard gives Pat and Charlene stolen identities, Bob and Willa Ferguson, while Perfidia leaves witness protection for Mexico. I love, by the way, after we talk about this, pass it off to Kristina, but I love this pussy don't pop for you. After because
good job, Perfidia. That's what sets him off.
This very nice witness protection house, which it always is, right? Like it's this these days, it's like a suburban
like
house.
Fellas,
like,
you know.
So they put her into the suburban house, and then he comes in and he takes the fucking the battering ram, which you already know he's completely rogue for a lot of this movie. But he just manages to keep it low key enough that nobody really, until he tries to join. He just punches above his weight class. That's where he goes wrong. Because if he didn't tyry to join the Christmas Adventures, everyone would be like, "Well, that's just old Lockjaw. That's just old Greg Bovino Lockjaw."
But it's Joe Arpaio, right? And it's more of a direct reference in Eddington. But like that's like it's like this the functionary like legal or law prosecuting official going above and beyond their station, usually to great acclaim by people that want people to be persecuted, and then becoming like a figure of interest.
But there was no way. I think there was no way for anybody to know this because he's obviously a Trump 2 administration official. But that Greg Bovino guy that they sent to Minneapolis he has the same walk as
and look,
he has the same
and
look.
Very Semitic too, no less, which is why they took the social media from him.
He has the same voice as Lindsey Graham a little bit, so that's kind of a thing. But they when that guy was fired, or he's supposed to be put out to pasture pretty much by the Trump administration, everyone was sharing the lockjaw in his office. Make sure.
It's talk about. I mean, like how awesome is it that like a movie release this new can be that relevant to the news for like meme stuff, where it's like, wow, that goes to show you just how dead on it is. Where it's like, oh man, again, it's depressing too. Don't get me wrong, but.
But Kristina, pass it off to you. But this is the moment of the great. I don't want to do your dirty work.
The Steely Dan drop. Sure,
So, 16 years later, living off the grid in the sanctuary city of Vatican Cross, California, Bob has become a paranoid stoner, which, if you think about it, is not a good idea considering there's always probably could be someone trying to find him. I don't know why he thought that it was a good idea to be a stoner when he's got a daughter to take care of, but he is very protective of Willa, now a free-spirited teenager, who resents his substance abuse and has led her to believe Perfidia was a hero. What do you guys think about that? About keeping this idolized vision of a mother that she doesn't even know?
Yeah, I mean, I think it works, and it makes sense because he really does love her.
Yeah.
Well, he loves them both, but he really, like, it becomes like a symbol of like Perfidia is like everything that he couldn't be, and he knows it. Her mom says that, which is amazing. Which is like basically you ain't shit. I can't remember the exact quote, but like it's like you're not built for this. And in his heart of hearts, he knows that that's true. But it's one of those things where he wants his daughter to know her mother, and you know, it's an interesting dynamic because any teenager is, you know, going to naturally rebel against the parent. And this is a very interesting situation where he has every right to be abjectly paranoid too.
She's a runner and you a stump is what the mom says.
There we go. That's that's woof. But I mean, also where's the lie too? Good usage of Humboldt County. Backton Cross is Eureka Arcata, and one of the reasons why is because there's so much greenery. There's so much greenery. If you've ever been there, that's indoor, by the way. That's where they have the redwood forest.
Yeah.
And just feel the redwoods everywhere somehow.
Save the redwood forest.
And it's so well utilized here because it also was, until it was even medically legal, let alone state legal in California, it was also weed country. So it's very much in character for him to be there. And there was also a lot of people that were those kinds of folks that like that. They could go up to Humboldt just far enough away that you could hide. So it makes sense. He has that great, like, we'll get to it, that little trap house exit. I love that. I always love secret passages. You know,
secret passages.
But as far as the relationship between, you know, father and daughter, you get like a good handle on it like really soon. He doesn't want her to have a phone, which of course, sure, how's that gonna work out? They also introduced those cool noise making devices that, like, when you're in certain proximity, like it's very low tech, but you're certain proximity. Yeah, and I think that's such a neat element for the plot, because then you get the sound design. It becomes important where you kind of hear something like in a distance in another room, and it's used very effectively by Greenwood with the score as well.
You know, not to plug a former episode that we did, Conan, sorry you weren't on for this one, but The Love Witch. Humboldt County, like,
it's greatly deployed there. Yeah, absolutely.
Is where she goes, and it's like, oh, she comes from San Francisco up those 280 miles to Eureka, and that's the place that she's in, where it's like, oh, they don't tolerate witches the same way they did in San Francisco.
right. Yeah,
but it's also just far enough away that it's got its own culture, so it's further. If you're trying to live, because remember, this is they're stolen identities, right? So Bob and Willa Ferguson don't actually exist. Pat and Charlene are, leftist witness protection, basically, right? But it's a great place for it. Even if you don't have that framework of knowledge of like what that area is to California, it comes across very quickly. So, Eileen, sorry, I kind of dominated that one. Any thoughts?
I don't know. What was I was just going to say, it just seems so. It's so much part of the comic persona of him being a very loving dad, but not really knowing how to do that super effectively. And so in every way, of course, he's just going to try to bury that fathoms deep because he doesn't want to hurt her feelings, and he's trying to protect her. So he like grills the friends in such a hilarious, heavy-handed way, and then
demands, they're they them. Okay, cool, homie.
Are they transitioning? I just want to know.
I just want to know.
It's so
leftist revolutionary doesn't transphobia. What's going on here?
Well, I don't think it's transphobia. I think like it feels like he wants to do the right thing, but he's just like two clicks off from it. That's like, no, stop doing that. But it's in such a like well-meaning way that it's
it's all well-meaning.
And then there is
the same thing with his original relationship with Perfidia Beverly Hills, where he's trying to teach her how to create one of the bombs, and she does. It's an exact version of the scene where she's like, okay, you put your hands here, and that she's teaching him how to hook up with the black girl, and and it's within that same thing where he's around her trying to continue to do the bomb, to set up the bomb while they're hooking up.
Right. So, and I think it's well done. You get a lot of background for what their father-daughter relationship is very, very quickly. And you don't need it, like, explained to you by anybody. You know, wait, you're telling me that ... you know.
Just not to miss this scene here because it's in the chronology. I fucking love when he's in the parent-teacher conference. And this is like, this is trying to show what kind of father he is.
Teacher's like, you okay?
But he's like, but I love when he goes, teaching the right kind of history, I hope. Lincoln, what were his intentions? Teddy Roosevelt, I hope you teach about the Philippines. And the teacher's like, we don't get into all the details just yet. And he's like, and he's hitting his vape in there while he's talking to her, blowing it into her face. And he's like, oh, Benjamin Franklin, the Grand Wizard, fucking slave owner.
He's basically
he also tears up. He's like
he's so emotional. Yeah,
he's the most emotional.
Maybe the weed is not helping.
It's wonderful.
As he's basically like grilling her about the curriculum and being mad it's not Howard Zinn, you know?
Yeah.
Like Kristina's favorite movie, The Love Witch, where witches make love.
That's right.
Yeah, that's definitely what happens.
Right. Not how I remember it.
They're making just love, not war.
So, through his vehement anti-immigration efforts, Lockjaw has become a colonel and prominent figure within the U.S. security agencies, obviously. And when Lockjaw is invited to become a member of the Christmas Adventures Club, hail Saint Nick. Not the same Saint Nick in 20 years later Bone Temple, okay? A different one, I think.
Right, yeah.
A white supremacist secret society. He seeks to kill Willa to hide his past interracial relation with Perfidia. So he hires the indigenous bounty hunter Avanti Q to capture Howard, causing a distress signal to go out to the French 75. And this is when things start to get interesting.
Right. So I love that, like, there's a lot of details with that meeting. Like, it's at a wedding, right? Like, they're feeling him out. Like, and you're sort of like,
President fucking Grant is there. I'm like, dude, you're one to talk. You like black girls?
All of the they're all like from like famous liberal, like liberal mainstream kind of things. Like Tony Goldwyn is the one guy who's like, you know, he's such a famous actor, but he's in like he does the. I was literally scrolling Facebook the other day, and it popped up right after I had watched this again with like Tony Goldwyn talks about the Innocence Project, and I was like,
he's also the
totally
Metro Golden Mayor, technically. Like he's a Goldwyn. Like,
and then we also talked about when we were watching it in Discord, which everyone should join our Discord watchthroughs. Not to plug them, too ham-handedly here. We were talking about how another one of the actors was in Madawan.
He was one of John Sayles' guys. Yeah, he was in a bunch of and it's so great that like all the people that are these like arch conservative secret society members are all like, you know, these like leftist like liberal figures that are like known for their activism, which is hilarious.
Liberals are always good at playing conservatives, and conservatives are very good at playing liberals. We've seen Designing Women. We've seen what's her face with that passionate First Amendment speech.
Not good at writing each other. They're good at playing each other. They're not good at writing each other.
Yeah, that's
true. It's like, oh, you're.
So this is our first look at the Christmas Adventurers Club, like, which is like he's being considered for admission. And again, that's what I was saying too about like the figure rising above his station politically for greater usage, even just as a figurehead, let alone going forward. I think that's done well. We don't know exactly what it is at this point, but like, well, I got some context clues. It's probably not great for anyone that doesn't look like these guys.
I have two notes here that I highlighted. So the first one is one of the first things we hear Tony Goldwyn's character say to Lockjaw is, each and every day is hand-to-hand combat and the spread of uncontrolled migration, isn't it? And he says, you want to save the planet, better start with immigration. And he says, you said that. And Lockjaw's like, oh, well, I guess I did. Yeah, that's true. Like, he's not even like, he's awed by this. And the other line that I had written down is, I don't think I'm being immodest when I say joining the Christmas Adventurers Club means that you're a superior man. No, not the best man, the most intelligent or the wisest. It just means you're superior to other human beings and you'll never want for friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that speaks volumes, doesn't it? Where it's like, think about the attitudes of these goofuses in charge right now, right? Like it's the same principle. So yeah, hurts a little too much because it's a little too close to home.
Yeah, and there's something so stupid. The level of stupid is so wonderfully expressed. Like when he thinks he's made it. Sorry, skipping ahead in plot. When the Lockjaw thinks he's in, and he shows up in that awful outfit, which is a blue blazer with tan pants, and he's just got some sort of awful would-be ex-Yaley. I don't know what he's trying to be. This preppy. He's trying to fit this new image as he has of himself, and it's always just the worst. It's just like the blandest and the worst and the most embarrassing.
Like,
and they
no
just
riz, man.
They just nail it. They're like coming into that home where Alice is, and she's going to make him some kind of pancakes, and you're just like, this is this craving for a kind of bland that you're like, really, you're ready to slaughter people, do all of this.
Well, you see this exact thing on. I don't believe that a lot of these are real people. I can't believe that a lot of these are real people. But when you go on Twitter and the people were like kind of within the outskirts of the administration post these AI, like these very creepy AI generated images of like this blonde white family at like a Thanksgiving table that's clearly supposed to be Norman Rockwell-esque, which is funny because of what Norman Rockwell represents.
Look what they took from us, and I'm like, they didn't take this away from you. You can do this. It's still here.
There's
you can have that. You can have eight. You can have 8.5 kids. Like, what are we talking? 8 is
no one's stopping you. Unfortunately, wish I could.
Yeah.
One other thing for this scene. Just quickly.
Well, I was gonna mention that scene because I'm not gonna remember it later on. That's that house that's in that later scene is based off of one of Ronald Reagan's actual houses.
Oh, yeah, of course it is. Yes, of course it is.
And it's perfect if you stop and think about that.
Yeah,
it is. The other thing I wanted to say. I like have random things that are written down on these notes, which I never do. But I mean, I always write notes and I forget them, so I'm happy I'm remembering them tonight. But there's a moment where Lockjaw's mask kind of slips in this thing, and you realize what a fucking weirdo he is, and everyone around him realizes what a weirdo he is when he says, "Well, I did purchase a jet ski. It was an evolution of the old hummingbird."
It's like, dude, be normal.
The dynamite dolphin 235. It was defective. I abstained from payment. I do it again. And Tony Goldwyn's character is like surprised, he's like, okay, like
that's not what I expected.
That's out of left field.
It's like very off-putting.
Why are you telling us this? What does this have to do with anything? Are you racist enough or not? That's all we want.
Yeah, look, all I want to know is you hate minorities, okay?
Do you hate black girls or do you love them?
I hate black.
So. We also get was Avanti Q is the character's name, right? The indigenous bounty hunter, which is interesting because this is another example of they're using him for his skills, but they make very clear that he's not one of us though.
Oh my god,
they say he's not homegrown, which is such a funny thing to say about. Which is a term that's been thrown around by the administration. The administration now calls people that are that are American citizens, they don't like homegrown terrorists. But but he's not homegrown. It's just an interesting thing to say about someone who's like literally a Native American, like half Comanche.
Right, exactly, an actual Native American. But yeah, he captures Howard.
He's not a native son.
Right. So he captures Howard, where he's got that whole the podcasting setup that's got going on, like the neighborhood broadcast. Turns in like that. There's a contingency plan for that. The kids like run in and do that. I think that all is like very effective, very cool, because you don't really know what's going on. Like, is this guy just the only guy that's left, like dead lettering office, like a movement doesn't exist? It's like, oh no, it's still there, it's still going, and it's like, oh, so that's your first clue that like, no, there is still some degree of what we saw earlier, which is say like the French 75 as an organization, and so that's our first clue is how that abduction is handled.
It also foreshadows something. I didn't realize this until watching like a little bit of it today. No, just prepping for it. It foreshadows the fact that Avanti Q has a thing where he just can't believe that children are in any way, shape, or form involved in this. So the two kids that are sitting there literally watching the house across the street, which I mean, I'm sure I wouldn't either if I was, but he's supposed to be like this tracker that kind of knows where people are going before they do, but he's unable to really guess that the two kids sitting on the corner watching the house are perhaps people that are going to run in as soon as the guy's taken away.
And he's got a code too, and that's important
and
for later.
Read out the code. Yeah.
That's very important. And yeah, then he gets the freaking guy who's an actual military dude. I forgot his name already, but it's like where you're like, wow, this guy looks
James Ratterman, I want to say.
It's so James unsettling, and it's like this guy is so good at being that kind of like military guy, and then you look at like, oh, because he is that kind of military guy.
He was we looked this up during the Discord, which you got to join our Discord, Movie Monsters, and I'll keep plugging it every time.
Yeah.
He was and still kind of is a Homeland Security investigator.
That blew my mind.
Yeah,
because he's got great cop eyes. You know what I mean? Like it's just he has that look of like, oh, okay, all right, I know what this.
So he still has a we found his business. He's a security officer, and he still has a business where he advises on doing stuff like this. So
PTA went method on this one.
That left me with the question, like, how much of that was improvised? I don't know, but like some of it has to be.
He just told them like, oh, is there a dude who got interrogated?
Didn't even tell him. They told him it's a documentary.
Yeah. That's dark.
Just show us what you do.
Yeah. He's the wrong color. It would never work.
Oh. But he's like, you know how many times people sit across from me and say they don't know? And he goes, I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's so creepy in that moment with those dead eyes that he's looking at her with.
Dead eyes.
Yeah.
Anyway. So Lockjaw sends troops to Backland Cross using an immigration and drug operation as cover. Wow, that's totally a thing that doesn't happen here at all.
Yeah, the finger licking chicken. The finger licking chicken factory.
Yeah. So French 75 member Deandra rescues Willa before her school dance is raided. While at home, Bob is warned by the French 75 about Lockjaw, whose men then raid his house.
Okay, so real quick. Something that I noticed on this last viewing is that how it's set up is it may look like it's going to happen like any second, and there's a disparity between like what Bob's doing to escape and like them coming to the door, so that when you don't know, you're like, go dude, go, what are you doing? Like it builds this incredible go, and then it looks like there's and it's so effective, and and even when you know, it's still like, oh man, is he gonna make it? You know, like it's.
I don't know if any of you guys have ever experienced one of those flashbangs. It is the most disorienting sensation that you'll ever have in your life. But before because if you're not especially if you're not ready to get raided, because I've been in a raid situation and gotten arrested in a raid situation, and the flashbang, like it's still in my mind, like. I could just feel like I was like, the fuck just happened to this house? There's this giant bang of light, and it's like it's so disorienting.
Which is meant to be. That's the point.
Yeah.
But incredibly effective scene, especially because of the non-chronological. Well, hey, I mean, take a hint, everybody. Come on.
Well, I just started going more than once a week into the Discord to like be more interactive. It's been hard for me to.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I love what he comes out of the tunnel with. When he's got not only the bathrobe, which is the best bathrobe, of course, since the Big Lebowski. Fabulous.
Oh yeah.
His own backpack, and then the little girl backpack attached to it.
That's right. Yeah.
He's the most readily identifiable figure on the street.
You see, did you see like someone in a bathrobe with a child's backpack running this way? Yeah, he's over there. You know.
I did.
Come on, man, you gotta do better than this.
But it also gives you a very early picture of how wired in this town is, where there's like he runs into a truck, and then the truck has a secret entrance into the grocery store at one point. And it's like this town is really set up to be as Sensei calls it, like a Harriet Tubman operation.
Right. That's right. That's right.
But we can't go past this without talking about Battle of Algiers, where he's just sitting there and he's you know, watching the
amazing
Battle of Algiers and smoking.
And a great example of paying homage to one of your influences in a cool way and not in a like cringy way, because it's like, oh man, how many people are now going to watch that movie just because it's in one bill after another? You know, because it rules. You know,
it's so funny that like you know, Aaron from Hit Factory, I feel like on a movie like this could go either way. And it's so funny that because of the Battle of Algiers, he's like, this is the most relatable movie he's ever been to.
Right. Yeah. So then Kristina, go ahead. We got the.
So escaping through a tunnel, Bob tries to coordinate with the resistance over a payphone, but cannot remember their greeting code.
Okay, so let's pause here because wow.
What time is it?
And for me, this may be the moment I'm like, okay, this movie is great. This is better than good. This is great.
Yeah,
because
old boomer liberal trying to appeal to like the kids, that are a bit more like radical and PC and like.
But the guy on the phone the guy on the phone is a 40-year-old,
and he's like this guy. He's like the same age, and also like again, we are all locked in this hell of IVR systems, 2-factor authentications, lost passwords. It went to your junk mail. And the fact that his daughter's life is on the line too, and it's played out so well because this is a comedy bit, right? This is a comedy bit. But it's played out like for dramatic tension.
Sir, you're triggering me right now. Like,
noise triggers. Fucking
I'm
noise.
like, what is this, a DSA meeting? What's going on here?
Yeah, exactly. Real people's front of Judea versus Judean people's front nonsense. Where it's like, oh my god.
I don't think we should. I don't think we should clap anymore. We should.
Yeah. Or...
Can't leave the room fast enough when it gets to that. Jesus Christ. I get mad just thinking about it.
The line that he says where he's like, you're supposed to be a revolutionary. You're so bad at talking to people.
Right, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
That's right. That's a great line.
and I also, it's a little bit later, but I love Sergio going. He goes, you got me on this real fucking nitpicking shit, and then Sergio's like, that's some real nitpicking shit, Bob.
He is so fucking like. I was ready for him to like snap in this movie, but he's like
never does.
Never. Oh no.
Speaking of which, let's bring in one of the best characters of this movie, which of course Benicio Toro as Sergio St. Carlos, right?
Sergio St. Carlos, Willow's karate teacher and community leader, helps him while evacuating immigrants via hidden passage. We love this man. We first see him earlier on though, when Willow's getting karate lessons from him.
We see him during the I don't want to do your dirty work.
Well, and you get that great entry point where he like crashes in and he's like, trying to like, not be seen in the windows and this. Oh, you got a gun? You got it? And he's like, hey, take your shoes off. Like it's like he's very so calm. He's so just like, hey, we got this. There's a procedure. We're just gonna do this.
Instead, he wins the race. What are you, the hair? What's going on?
He's the epitome of cool from the very beginning, and it's so deft and it's played so well. And then you find out he's a fan. He's like, oh yeah, I'm a fan. And it's like, oh really? But he even calls out, why you got your sunglasses on? And like he's got these wraparound shades on. It's so stupid. At night in a car.
I wear sunglasses at night so I can.
There's nothing. You're making yourself more noticeable, dude. Like, what are you doing?
But it does feel like there's these certain touchstones, I guess, because he's not aware of the depth of Sergio St. Carlos's activities in this arena, right? Like he's not like they're not fully feed into each other.
His kid's karate teacher. Yeah,
he automatically goes to Sensei thinking like this is a guy that might have like the karate weapons gun. Like that's his.
He's like, no, I got a whole underground operation myself, son. Let's go.
So the first thing he says is like, I was a member of the French 75. And Will and I, we just got away, but this is who I really am. And that's when he's like, I'm a fan. Like, he's so excited in that later scene where he's like, it's not every day you get to rescue a 75er twice.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. And again, this goes back to what I was saying earlier about, Leo being in the Kurt Russell and Big Trouble in Little China role of like thinking that he's like the main character. It's like, no, you're absolutely the sidekick. You're absolutely because so he. And the plot summary here is being a little reductive because there's the great scene where you see the raid, right? You see the raid that's going on.
Like a long shot.
While he's trying to charge his phone.
Everywhere
he goes, he's trying to charge this old ass phone, and he just can't do it. By the way, can I say also relatable? That's also a relatable thing.
So all of that is in a storefront where they built. So there's a storefront on the bottom. They built a trapdoor into this random storefront, and then they built the entire building around it in a lot in El Paso.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's great because you see, like, they're just going to work. They're doing the thing that they're doing the thing that they need to be doing to like make sure these people are safe, right? And like that's it works so well because you see the incongruency of him just being all he cares about is getting his phone charged so that he can like
and the whole thing is funny and again it's just brilliant use of rhythms throughout this film. So while Leonardo DiCaprio is all in a frenzy and dashing around and being hapless and making a lot of noise, you've got this slow, steady thing happening. It's a very long sequence. This is phases of this sequence, and it just keeps it going so admirable. It just gets very long while you're watching the same kind of rhythms play out.
Well, and you watch them. They run in. There's like a shot of them running in, and the camera goes back behind them. A tracking shot of them entering this store, and then Sergio St. Carlos isn't even talking to Bob. He's talking to one of his kids. I think is on the phone. He's like, "Get off the phone!" And Bob thinks he's talking to him behind him, and he's like, "Oh, yeah!" He drops the phone. He's freaking out the entire time. He keeps blaming Sergio St. Carlos's phone. He's like, "Oh, they're tracking your phone. That's how they found me." Like totally illusionally.
Like, dude, you're making a big scene while trying to escape. What are you talking about, man?
So they enter, and then so they do the tracking shot out. They go out through that trap door into the above apartments, and that's when you see he's like, "Oh, we got a little Harriet Tubman situation," and you have an entire line of migrants who have been in this town that they're helping escape into like the tunnels or whatever, and then for pulling further back into Sergio St. Carlos's apartments where his family is, and everything's rushing around because he has this entire thing going on while Bob's story is kind of going on. He's just trying to find his daughter.
Right. Yeah. It's so good.
I don't know who you are, and I don't know what you want.
It works so well, and there's so much happening, and you're right, Kristina. You mentioned it being like all that kind of long shots, like the camera like moves like in, moves out, and it gives you a real sense of continuity for what's happening. That this is like a fluid situation. There's action happening outside, there's action happening like inside, so on and so on, and
it keeps opening up into more and more people. So not just the people he's saving, but he's got all of these family members in further rooms. Yeah.
And meanwhile, he's just trying to call this guy and like get say the password, which is just like again played for a comedic beat is just it's so good. It's so good. And so then so he finally gets it, and then we get that great, and he gets his gun because he's like asking for a gun. He's like, "You want a gun? Fine, I'll get you a gun." And he gets him a gun, and then they break off to he sends him off with the kids, and we get one of my favorite sequences in the entire movie. Where's the Viva la Revolution? And then you get what do you get? This. You get the fist.
That's like perfect.
He goes into the door and the carpet rolls over.
Perfectly.
It's
the second time where he's in this ecstasy kind of where he like the first time is obviously in the very beginning when Bob is running away from the ICE detention center or the detention center, and he can't help it. He goes, "Viva la Revolution!" And, and they're trying to pull him back to the car. And then there's that second moment where he's overcome with this like this solidarity and like this sense of like this sense of mission or the sense of purpose for the first time, and it's like Viva la Revolution, and then you see Sergio St. Carlos do it from there. And it's so good.
Fist, door closes, carpet rolls over door, and I mean I was like, that is the coolest thing I've seen in a movie all year. Like it was just it was funny, it was badass. I was like, that's my favorite GIF.
We also quickly talk about going a little bit back. He calls in the Greyhawk 10, which is one of the funniest parts of this, where he's like he reaches the breaking point with the guy on the phone, and he's like, "I'm calling in a Greyhawk 10." And he's like, "You're calling in a Greyhawk 10?" Like, I'm calling it, which I guess is like code speak for speaking to like the next highest up person, like speaking to the manager, like pulling a Karen and being like, "I want to talk to your manager."
It's a speaking to manager of
Talleyrand, who's the guy when you see the SLA scene where it's like Wood Harris, shooting the gun, he manages to escape behind the house or whatever, and you actually see him escape during that sequence. He's like the one person who escapes from that. and doesn't get burned alive in the house. So it's like he's the last person that's kind of working from this moment besides Regina Hall.
Oh wow. Okay.
All right. Close out of this piece.
So while fleeing with Sergio's students across rooftops, Bob falls and is arrested.
Hilarious. Amazing.
Again, another perfectly timed bit of physical comedy.
And he's barely keeping up. They're doing parkour.
Yes.
You know, like it's sort of like
he falls 40 feet like he's Buster Keaton. Somehow does not get hurt. Gets up, staggers, or gets tased.
And gets tased within seconds of.
Yeah. Like they knew, and they're like, "Oh man, he got arrested."
In role-playing game terminology, you rolled a 1. You know?
It almost takes you by that kind of what's about to happen because of just kind of how they've set it up, but it takes you by surprise that it's off screen. The taser hits him and goes, and then it's literally like you can put the Pac-Man getting the ghost sound effect.
Yeah, exactly. Super Mario dying sound, whatever. To pick your video game. No, it's perfect. And again, props to Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't think I've ever seen him do that level of physical comedy, which is
he's got that sequence in Wolf of Wall Street.
That you know what, you're right. That is.
Oh God, yeah, go with
He's so funny.
That's all right. He's got the goods.
He should do nothing but comedy.
When we talked about, I don't think that this is the case in this movie, but when we talked about Wolf of Wall Street, he did those stunts himself as he fell down the stairs. They're not letting Leonardo DiCaprio fall off a building.
No, not at this point. No, exactly. I think his last will and testament filled out first.
Tina, you wanna hit us with the last?
Yes. So Deandra takes Willa to a convent of revolutionary nuns where she is told the truth about her mother's betrayal to Quaz, aka she's a rat. She sold out like some black revolutionaries have done in the past.
Yeah, exactly. Don't be mad at the movie. That actually happened.
Yeah, why? This is the problem. Why people are mad about the movie? Like, oh, this is the most stereotypical portrayal of. I'm like, shut up.
But they get the other guy, the Billy Goat guy. He rats too because they threaten his sister. They push they know how to find a pressure valve.
Yeah,
what makes it terrifying. They found an actual guy that does that, which is why I wonder. I wonder how much of that, because Paul Thomas Anderson famously lets people kind of create their own characters and lets them improvise from there. And a lot of times that was I have to wonder how much of that guy's thing is just him,
just that guy.
Yeah.
Scary, scary stuff.
Can I make Conan Black? Viva la revolution, Bob.
I'm the whitest dude you know from Oakland, but yeah, go ahead. I didn't used to live next to Ryan Coogler. I mean, we both live in East O.
Oh wow.
One thing is before Conan takes us home through the last 3 paragraphs.
The last 5 hours of this movie, yeah.
When they walk up to the I think this is crucial to the movie. As they walk up to the nunnery, it's Paul Thomas Anderson's actual daughter, Pearl Minnie Anderson, that's sitting there. That is the nun.
Sorry. She's named after her grandmother, by the way, for those who don't know.
An actual mixed race child too, which I think is notable. I normally dislike that kind of melding the auteur's personal life with it, but I think it's important here.
She was also in Licorice Pizza, but I don't know where in the movie. She's one of the kids I think that hangs out with Cooper Hoff.
That movie's pretty forgettable in my opinion. Whatever. Peace and love. Yeah. So the convent of what is it? The Sisterhood of the was it the Brave Beaver? What is it called?
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, Conan.
Another one that I laughed at that I sound like a psychopath laughing at in this movie.
Sisterhood of the Traveling Beaver.
Yeah. Christmas adventurers find evidence of Lockjaw's relationship with Perfidia and send member Tim Smith, what a white guy name, by the way, Tim Smith, everybody, to kill him and Willow.
Point out that guy has he's so replaceable with Tony Goldwyn or
there's a different
yes,
exactly.
So almost twins there.
Yeah, it's like central casting, right? Like, all right, I need a middle-aged white guy that probably golfs. Like, okay, there you go.
The conservatives are like, wow, they're finally hiring white guys again. I'm sure.
Okay, so this sets us up with that great entrance, like the secret entrance, and you find like their little secret meeting room, and it really leans into, you find out that it is indeed the Christmas adventurers. This is great. Yeah, I mean, everything about it's great. I love their interactions with each other.
They also went on the guy that
they all
died.
should have been wearing some tracksuits with some blonde wigs and some tiaras.
The guy that dies that allows Lockjaw to even be within this process is named Jim Kringle, which I think is the funniest fucking
fantastic. Yeah, great, amazing. Yeah. I love everything about that. I love the fact that I mentioned that the set is based on one of Ronald Reagan's actual houses. Amazing.
Yeah,
like how amazing, lovely, great.
It's not the General Electric one. It's one of his little ones.
Right, kind of glitching out a little there, but yeah, absolutely. So. Lockjaw locates Will at the convent where Deandra is arrested. Holding Willa hostage, he tests their DNA in front of her. That's skipping a lot of plot, by the way. But they finally meet. There's a great exchange. She's immediately busting his balls, unafraid, which is great. And like all of that's amazing. Those interactions are hilarious, but it's also fraught with danger at the same time. And you don't know what's going on until you realize, oh, okay, so basically, if the DNA test is that Lockjaw's the father, then he's going to kill her because that means he can't get into the club, right? And
there's that great line there where he's reading off the thing and he's like, if this line goes straight, you're in trouble, but if this line or whatever, you go free. And she's like, and then he forgets what he read 5 minutes later. She's like,
yeah.
Did you forget what you read 5 minutes ago? I don't think it was hard because I can actually fucking read.
Yeah.
Well, then she does that great, like, why is your shirt so tight? He's like, I'm not gay if that's what you're asking. It's like, no, nobody said that.
It's just it's like you're overcompensating for something for wearing a shirt that's too tight, too small for you, dude.
Well, I didn't get a chance to add this in there because it flags after 10 seconds of clip. But after she asked that, she goes, I did notice the lifts in your shoes, which is such a big thing with DeSantis' campaign kind of floundered after they found the lifts in his cowboy boots and that Bobino guy has lifts in his shoes. Like all of these conservatives really do put lifts in their shoes.
There's nothing wrong with the short king. Embrace it.
Was all we learned. It's what we learned in Materialists, right? They want, everyone wants to know if you have money and if you're tall.
Oh, Lockjaw would 100% break one of his legs or break his leg.
Would absolutely get the Materialist surgery. 100%. Yeah. My only question is, when can we start? Yeah. Okay. Confirming she is does a DNA test in front of her, confirming she is his daughter. Sergio arranges Bob's escape and drives him to the convent, throwing him out of the car when police begin to pursue them. Amazing. So great. I love everything about that.
Great. 1, 2, 3. And he's like, slow the car down a little bit. He's like, come on,
Four.
He also brings them a few small beers after he brings them out, which is great. Really fantastic.
Sober for this. What are you doing?
You don't see the beers that he brings out until he says on the phone, I'm a drug and alcohol fiend. Like, he's like, oh, that is the best way to calm this guy down is to give him some Modelo's.
Yeah, and it works. I mean, but yeah, and he has the most inelegant cannonball roll that anyone's ever seen in the history of movies. Fantastic. Because remember, the legend may be great, the man isn't, and that's what makes this so cool, right? And Sergio kind of takes the heat from the police. He does that great field sobriety test where he's just like, trying to take up as much of their time as possible. Yeah, does his little dance.
And just
just unconcerned.
Do it. He could be doing the Macarena if you wanted to. That'll definitely do Thriller. Whatever.
And this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about when I talk about like what a great supporting performance this is.
Oh god,
it's just like, it's so good.
Just vibes, man, vibes.
Yeah,
he doesn't win. But he probably isn't gonna win.
I love that they gave they let him actually have a Modelo, because usually they do like the they're gonna make a funny name for it, so it's gonna be like Modolito or something, like a funny beer name. But like I wonder if Modelo was like, oh no, this is gonna be great for us.
And it has been, yeah. So Bob steals another car and reaches the convent, unsuccessfully attempting to kill Lockjaw with Sergio's rifle. There's also the great thing where the Mexican day laborers tell him which way to go, and he does the whistle. He does the day laborer whistle at them, which is it's such a small detail, but it's
They're like, oh, you're one of the good ones, dude.
Yeah.
We like you.
Basically, yeah. I mean,
the real good hombre, Bob.
Lockjaw hires Avanti to kill Willa, but after refusing over her age, because the man has a code, right? Avanti is told to deliver to a far-right militia instead. So we get the setup with the militia guys who.
Yeah, the only difference between this government and our real government, no one in our real government would ever refuse over someone's age.
Right. Well, yeah. Well, this guy's he's not. He's an outside contractor.
Yeah.
True.
He can have honor.
And then you get all the Native American insults that are quite inventive. You wagon burner. Of them that he just has to sort of take.
I thought I was watching a John Wayne movie for a minute.
I know, really. It's quite a throwback.
And the guy that he's going back and forth with has relentless tattooed on his forehead, which is such a oath keepers kind of fucking shit that you would have as these paramilitary turned Trump Trump.
Oh, these tattoos on their heads.
Yeah, and so it looks like things not going great for Willa at this moment in time, but so that's what's happening there. Tim tracks down Lockjaw again. This is the first of one of the many great desert chase sequences, and it's like this is a road rage incident gone bad, is what it looks like, right? Shooting him in the face, which is very jarring. It's very jarring when that happens, and it's and you see the car fly off the side, and you're like, well, that's him dusted, I guess. Causing his car to crash and leaving him presumed dead. Bob finds the crash site while searching for Willa. So at this point we're thinking Lockjaw's gone, right? And there's no way that's not happening.
Well, because you actually have Leo right after this scene, he walks into the he walks up to the car, and you see Lockjaw's body hanging upside down. Into the car.
It's definitely some nobody could have survived that horror movie logic, but anyway, we'll get to that. Avanti brings one to the
you fucking double tap. You always double tap.
Right. Exactly. No monster is truly dead until they explode.
I mean, hello, soap operas. I've seen characters' brains being jars, right? And somehow they come back
better
from the dead.
We need them for the ratings.
You cannot kill Cesar Faison on General Hospital. Helena Castlight cannot be killed until the actress is dead, and she's like 100. She's still kicking it.
But you would see Lockjaw walk back out with his brain in the jar.
So meanwhile, back at the white supremacist, Avanti brings Willa to the militia, but after a change of heart, frees her and is killed in a shootout with the militia. Love that sequence. Great.
It's another moment where a man in this movie trying to help her does it in the least helpful way possible. Doesn't hand her keys, doesn't help her in any capacity, doesn't really unlock her hands are still tied together. So it's another man that his ego is fucked up, and his sense of righteousness is kind of pulled up, but there's no sense of here's how to actually do something in a helpful way. It's just I'm gonna.
But it seems like it's almost a snap decision, right? And he's so matter of fact about that, and I think that makes it interesting, because you got to think about the history with that character and these militia guys and Lockjaw and all of and that he's just how much crap has he had eat over the years, and it's just all right, no, not this time. That's not what's happening.
While being better, probably. I mean, not to be all but while being better at this than probably any of those people, right? He's an expert tracker and bounty hunter, and it's all these guys are thanks, Red.
They're just busy talking into their phones and trying to talking about the liberals that have been locked up.
You can just see it in a very Eddington kind of style, but you can just see the relentless guy with his phone out like this, and he's making a video, and he's
totally.
Just checking in from the because the place is called the 1776. Just checking in from the 1776.
that was either 5 minutes before or 5 minutes after.
He's got
probably 5 minutes before.
He's got a congressional run going or something. He's like running for congressman of El Paso or something, and he's like,
sure, yeah. Avanti brings Willa to the militia, but after Inch of Heart frees her and is killed in a shootout with the militia. Willa takes Avanti's car and pistol, again, very resourceful, and escapes, only for Tim to begin tailing her, with Bob frantically trying to catch up. Yeah, so this has got to be
a good car chase. This is one of the best car chase scenes in recent history because she's like, she has to think. She has to like, oh my God, I cannot. This guy's just going to keep chasing me. I can run out of gas. Let me, you know.
So.
More ocean waves.
Rating, this so-called movie podcast is falling in the ratings. There's a question here. There's a question here, which is it actually a car chase? And I think it's left up. I think this is completely up in the air. Like I don't think there's an answer to it because he's going in that direction and kind of hunting her down, but he doesn't necessarily know it's her in that car. That he's chasing down. Lockjaw is already dead. There's not really a reason for him to just finish the job because that guy's already dead in a hole. And the question becomes like, is she so full of adrenaline that she just assumes that because he's very confused when he gets out of the car and is like looking at her and he's like, hello, because he hits the thing going full speed and he doesn't. It seems like he doesn't necessarily register in the way that she does.
That's a good point. Yeah,
I didn't think about that, but that's and that's another thing that what we're seeing is shot very deftly and with dramatic tension, but isn't necessarily synchronous too. Because again, we're talking about
Reddit threads about is it or is it not a car chase.
Oh, okay, fine.
I'd rather have that discourse than other discourse about.
I
had that question and I was wondering, like sometimes when I have a question like that in a movie, I'm like, I wonder what other people think about this, and I stumbled on an actual like Reddit thread where it's people arguing like, oh no, he's
4,055 posts about it, right?
Literally,
well, but thematically, that actually you could make a really good case because everything that happens after that is about being able to can you identify friend or foe?
Right. Yeah.
Right? And if he doesn't even know what's going on,
that person is a high-ranking. I mean, we don't even necessarily until Lockjaw goes, I'm a Christmas adventurer. Do you know what that means? I don't think our
no one knows.
Nobody knows what that means.
Yeah. It's a secret society. Of course, no one's gonna know.
She wipes out in that moment someone that she has an automatic reaction to things where she's like, oh, this person no matter what is definitely a foe. And takes him out, but that's like one of their main, like that's the person they call in when things are like that's their bounty hunter, their white guy bounty hunter.
That's
but then it really spills over when it seems like she can't even recognize her father, even though he's standing in
which
front
is the
of
next
her.
part, right? Yeah. So Willa turns Tim into a crash by exploiting a blind summit. She shoots him dead when he fails to recite the revolutionary countersign. Bob arrives and finds Willa. Willa demands the countersign at gunpoint, but Bob convinces her to stand down. And what she yells is, "Who are you?
Who are you?"
Yeah.
And
but
that's
also,
something I picked up more the second time.
Yeah.
That I really
he
love.
Doesn't know anything about this world that she did. So that's why she's like, tell me the truth.
There's also the revolutionary countersign are the lines from the revolutionary. Well, the revolution will not be televised. By Bill Scott Heron. Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, and Hooterville Junction will no longer be so goddamn relevant, and we will not care if Dick got down with Jane because black people will be in the streets fighting for a better day. The revolution will not be televised, which is the same song that you hear on. They actually play the song on the phone line. That's like they're playing Gil Scott Heron as he's waiting for his Greyhawk 10 to go down.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's a detail that I really loved because I love that song.
It's beautiful. Yeah, it's really done. Well done.
Well, yeah, and I love that. So she's so deep in it with the adrenaline and like the shock of everything that's happened, and that who are you? Like it's like it's me, it's your father. And then she eventually does stand down, but you have that moment of like is this broken her? Right? Because think about everything she's gone through on this. This is the kid. And so it's really profound. I found that especially moving this last time with that. So they tearfully embrace and drive away as Lockjaw is revealed to have survived, much like Jason.
Which I loved. I loved that Heather, when we were doing it in the chat, had never seen it. And she was
and it was well, because it is shocking. Because I had the same reaction in the theater. I was like, no way.
Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
And there's that.
He's the Terminator?
Yeah.
There's that perfect. And it's like that. They have like Mexican song that's playing on the. They're singing in Spanish because he's going.
Yeah, with that weird ass walk. Yeah. It's so good. And so, all right. So sometime later, a severely scarred Lockjaw is seemingly welcome into the Christmas Adventurers, but is fatally gassed and cremated shortly afterwards.
You will not be remembered or missed.
I love that it flips right. There's something about this movie that reminds me of the same time period of like movies were really great around this time period, but like No Country for Old Men. And There Will Be Blood, kind of in 2007. There's like a vibe to it that has that same kind of feeling of that time period. But I loved when he's in this final conference with them, and he's like, "Gentlemen, I have gone face to face with the enemy, and I have seen the whatever." And he's like,
"I have been reverse raped by a semen demon."
Yeah, he's like,
they're like, "What?"
I was once raped in reverse. And he goes, raped in reverse. How does that work? And he's like, "Oh, I woke up and there was a feeling of some kind of sticky liquid on my." He's like, I think she was a sperm thief. And the old man goes, a semen demon.
A semen demon.
I'm assuming, Conan, you found that one letterbox review about it. But...
Yeah. Very Dr. Strangelove in the best possible way, right? But
and they're like, we're not buying this.
But he's also like, he's got that phrase like at the jump, which has so many questions. There's so many questions about that.
Yeah.
But so Lockjaw gets got in the most mundane way possible, which is very fitting. And again, you got to love the corollaries with certain parties that were demoted after certain activities in real life lately, and those memes were wonderful.
I mean, what he gets is like you get this big boring office. I mean, it has windows, but there's nothing about the office to make you go, "Oh, hot damn!"
Yeah,
just a big office,
right? And that there's. You're right. You're correct, because there's a different movie or a different story that just like, no, he's just like, that's what you're doing. That's like, congratulations. And I want to say it was the second season of Fargo basically ended like that, the TV show where it was just like, all right, yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, here's your office, man. And it's like, oh, I thought I was doing crime boss stuff.
Oh, that's
like,
right.
No, you're gonna be over here like with these like freaking file folder cabinets. It's
Exactly.
Like, oh.
And he's just sitting there at that sad desk. And no, it was really like that. But again, he doesn't know. Lockjaw's all blissed out. Like, exactly. I made it. I'm in this office now.
All right. Home stretch, everybody. Returning home with Willa. Bob gives her a letter from Perfidia where she apologizes for her actions and vows to reunite with her family soon. Later, Bob gives Willa his blessing as he attempts to take a selfie. Poorly. And she departs for a protest in Oakland as American Girl by Tom Petty plays.
Yes.
One battle after another. Ending somehow divisive. I just thought it was badass. I don't understand. What was
the divisive part? What was divisive?
They were like, why isn't he going with her? It's like, because he's inept. Like,
exactly.
I mean, like, it's not.
Yeah,
this is like he should not be in his life. Yeah,
he's letting her have her independence. I'm like, nah, that's not it.
Well, it's not fully it, but
Well, and then also, who's to say that like he doesn't go next time with her? Maybe it's just like maybe they have a activism share board. Like a chore wheel, but it's like activism instead.
She would be in more danger if he went with her.
He's clearly like he's bumbled his way through everything.
He can't be a revolutionary. He can't.
So apparently,
he's Jack Burton shooting the ceiling and the cement hits his head. That's who this guy is.
Apparently, there's a famous documentary on the Weather Underground that exists where a woman reads a letter that she had written to her father. And the lines, hello from the other side of the shadows. I don't mean to shock you, but I've been contemplating writing you for a long time. And I often wake up and find it completely inexplicable how and why I am where I am today, disconnected from my family. Those two lines that are big are actually from a letter that was written by a Weather Underground member to her, to her parents.
Those are beautiful lines. Wow.
Yeah.
I see. That makes me like it more, and I like the ending, and I like the issues of American Girl. I like Tom Petty, but it's recontextualizing like a uniquely, quintessentially American song that was very popular in the mainstream in a new and exciting way. And I
taking it back from Silence of the Lambs, because American Girl plays for the girl in the pit too,
which I do love. But yeah, absolutely taking it back from Silence of the Lambs and putting in a new, and it's also. It's the idea of generational change. The fact that there's generations previously have built these things, but then it's a handoff, right? It's a handoff to a newer generation, and it's not an abdication of responsibility. I mean, the people that seem to focus on that don't seem to understand how humans work. That's how I'll put it.
Also, don't understand the strains of revolutionary fervor. She's got some of her mother's ferocity, but not the absolute recklessness. She's got a lot of her father's kind of heart, but he, again, is so inept and hapless he can't be there. And she's been trained by the sensei.
Yeah.
Really?
Exactly. She's a better version, a composite of what has come before. Absolutely.
She's going to be a great revolutionary. Yeah.
And isn't to say that, again, maybe there's some activities that Ghetto Bob is going to be good at and he can help out, you know? If maybe he'll eventually figure out the phone.
He'll always be supportive. If she gets in trouble, he will, of course, practically kill himself rescuing her again.
Exactly. But it's not, it's not his vibe. It never was. It never was. And he wanted it to be, but it's not. He's not that kind of dude. And that's key to understanding that character. And like, again, you have like the better version of, what happens after that. I don't know. It's an exciting new movie in and of itself. It could be like, superhero origin story to a certain degree. Chase Infinity's next, adventure. But
that's a good movie title, Conan. We should write that.
Right, exactly. Get PTA on the phone. Don't let him listen to the beginning when I trash a bunch of his movies.
By the way, the last thing that I wanted to say. So that James Ratterman guy that was Homeland Security was previously in a Emmy nominated. I guess it was nominated for 6 Emmys. Documentary series called The Trade that followed him around while he was working for Homeland Security before he was a private security officer. So I guess PTA had actually seen this documentary series, The Trade, and had gone like, "Oh, I'm gonna reach out to this guy because this is a person who I don't know what the fuck it has to do for you to win or get nominated for that many Emmys to be like a Homeland Security." He specialized like human trafficking kind of stuff.
Well, and he's great in this, and he's great, as is the rest of the ensemble. Like, I actually love that this year we not only have this new Oscar category for best casting, right? But we have multiple contenders. Like, this and Sinners both are just like, oh my god, yes, it's like a family affair, right? This would be less of a movie if you didn't have like all of these. If he didn't have all these people doing the things that they do, and he's one of them, which is to say him and his cop eyes both, somehow more terrifying than all of the mediocre white men in positions of power that are also in this movie.
I love that Ratterman's line is, "It was really fun. The fellow cast members were extremely nice. Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, Regina Hall, Teyana Taylor, Chase Infiniti, the director. They're incredibly nice people to work with, and they supported me the entire time I was there." You fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
All right. So as mentioned, some people do have problems with any of this movie. A lot of people have opinions. Of course, a good place for that is Letterboxd, which is a social media site for film lovers who talk with and to each other about the movies they love, maybe the movies that they didn't love, maybe the movies that just made them think ocean waves, Bob. And of course, it's a bottom-up democracy. Everyone gets to have their say, not just the Siskel's and Eberts of the world. Everyone gets to chime and opine about the movies. This is best expressed succinctly. For the purposes of this bit, we're weekly. They are collected by yours truly to be presented on screen for Forrest and the panel to react to. That's what this bit is. These are the Letterboxd one-liners for one battle after another. Let's go. Sean Penn delivers one of the weirdest walks of all time. An Oscar-worthy weird guy walk.
Gee, I knew you were going to pick this one.
but how the fuck is it the actual same walk that the guy, like that Bovino guy does? Like, that's crazy.
Dude, is it just a white supremacist way of walking?
Yes, maybe there's a way.
I think one of the things about it is he's clenching his ass unbelievably tight, which I do think is how a lot of military kind of people are taught to walk.
Yeah, you need to relax. Yeah, you men need to like unclench the puckered and just opening.
Like,
relax.
When you think of like clenching your ass that tightly and then trying to walk, it creates like a waddle. It's kind of just a strange,
like, this like duck-like situation.
Yeah.
That, you know.
I would love to ask Sean Penn what he was looking at for research with that. You know, just, it doesn't have to be on the show. Just like I'm like, all right.
Because his politics are kind of like all over the place.
He's such a fucking weird guy too. Like I was reading last night. I forgot that this happened. That he was accidentally like a big part of why they call it El Chapo. Because he went to El Chapo's secret lair and was trying to interview him for Rolling Stone magazine.
That's right.
And he almost actually died because the Mexican Navy was going to raid that place at the same time he was in there, and they were like, "Fuck Sean Penn" is the exact quote of like a Mexican Navy guy.
He also did that. Do you remember that Bob Honey Who Just Do Stuff book, which is like he wrote this book about a septic tank salesman who's a part-time assassin. It's like what? Who? I mean, look,
So
what are you
random.
doing? What?
Well, there's the other famous thing where when Obama was president in the 2008 Haitian crisis happened with the earthquake and everything.
He was in the boat. That's right.
He was down in Haiti at one of those camps where they were
Ukraine.
shooting everyone. And famously, he had a gun strapped to him the entire time. So he was walking around with a gun in a holster, and he would sometimes just whip the gun out at people.
All right. Can I just say, however he got there, this is one of my favorite performances of the year. Like,
Yes.
And it's an all-timer. And I say that as someone that I've been a fan ever since like Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Respect. Respect to this freaky guy doing a freaky guy.
I forgot his performance in Licorice Pizza was also pretty good, where he's one of the few good parts, like one of the few standout parts was him and Bradley Cooper were kind of the two standout scenes where he jumped over the fire on his motorcycle.
Yeah. It's like Finding Nemo if the dad was a stoner, alcoholic, and woke.
Although not too woke. He's on the perfect level.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know how fucking hard you are to talk to?
So good. Very funny. If the president sees this, he will either ban movies or kill himself.
Maybe both.
I mean, he's too busy with Rush Hour 4. I mean, I feel like the only movies he likes watching is like movie musicals.
Yeah, crazily. Yeah.
Like that's about it. So
I
thank
wonder
God.
I wonder if he saw Sinner. Just kidding, he didn't.
No.
Be careful what we say.
Pick it either.
Sean Penn coming back as the Terminator just to say he was reverse raped by a semen demon had me cackling.
I knew it.
It's so funny that the one guy clicks on, like the one guy who's so weird throughout it, the old man that is the one that finally kills him, is also the one that's like a semen demon, and it's like, how do you know that?
He's like, sir,
why did you just have that ready? Yeah,
I believe that she was a sperm thief.
Yeah,
semen demon. Everybody knows about semen demons.
Yeah, exactly. The thing we all know about and talk about. All this because Sean Penn couldn't make that pussy pop.
This pussy don't pop for you has to be one of the great breakup lines.
Yeah, it's good. It's God tier stuff. I love it. Finally, a movie that normalizes getting high as fuck and watching the Battle of Algiers.
Hell yeah.
Really spoke to a lot of us, that did.
Representation at last.
I love how he's like the revolution will be like he's saying it in English while they're saying it in French on the screen.
Yeah. That's how you know a movie. Especially a foreign one. I probably have more intelligent things to say about this film, but in the meantime, I just want Teyana Taylor to step on me.
Yeah.
Friend of the show, Lauren Chenard, dropping that bomb on that one.
I mean, not wrong.
The only movie my dad didn't nod off during in a dozen years.
Wow.
Yeah, this is like a movie that my dad would watch probably, because he also too ended up being kind of
Steely
a
Dan
leftist,
drop.
but
Like,
Who
who would throw Steely Dan on in the middle of a movie except somebody's dad?
Yeah, it's respect. That's Extreme Elvis, by the way, Matt Cornell. So Sean Penn was really doing all that for an office in a white supremacist WeWork?
Yeah, really?
The view is pretty nice.
I did have a view, I guess.
White supremacist WeWork? Yeah.
we didn't mention the thing when he says when they says you're accepted into the Christmas Adventurers. The first line he says is, "Oh, mommy."
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Anyway, there's a Letterboxd one-liners from one battle after another.
You love movies? I love them.
Please follow the show at our Letterboxd HQ account at Movie Night Extra, where we have all the episodes of the great movies that we cover on this very show. You can find attendant short form content, long form reviews, all that good stuff at Movie Night Extra. Forrest over there, I Hate Ice at Always Flacco. You can find him on Letterboxd as well.
I hate ice.
PTA journey recently, so logging all that stuff as well as the many things that we do in this very show. Follow him on there for more. I, of course, am one podcast after another. That's true for this week, boy. Let me tell you. At Conan Neutron, highbrow, midbrow, populous fare, all that good stuff. Follow me along for the Criterion Challenge in good old 2026. I think I'm a quarter of the way done already, but that's going to slow down a little bit. And at Conan Neutron, at Kristina. What time is it? It's time to follow her on Letterboxd at Kristina, the popular Letterboxd format. Eileen Jones is far too busy to have a Letterboxd account, so let's hit it with the plugs. Yeah, you don't have to apologize. That's okay. Let's hit it with the plugs.
If you're watching us on YouTube, please like and subscribe, and then hit the bell to get notified whenever we're streaming. And we'd humbly request that you watch the video to the end, because it helps us with the algorithm and helps more film fans to discover the show. We're also monetized. If you want to get your chat questions definitely read on stream, you can always send us a super chat, which will help us keep the show going. Every cent helps. If you're watching on Twitch, you can gift us a free sub on Amazon Prime with your Prime membership, but getting subs on Twitch is always appreciated, and it helps to follow us on there as well. We also have an audio feed, which is available wherever you download podcasts, if you prefer to listen to podcasts rather than watch the stream. That's updated usually the same day we stream, but watching on YouTube and Twitch is the best way to get the show first, live as it happens. If you want to support us with a monthly donation and get access to all of our after parties forever, which go patron only after we do them, you can become a patron at patreon.com/movie night extra. Link is in the description for that. It really helps us keep the show going since we do have some expenses to make this happen. We also have a Discord community. Link is in the description for that. We sometimes watch movies we cover on there. We get into conversations about everything from film to TV shows to related podcasts. We even have a Discord channel for memes. It's really fun on there. You can find us on all the social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter, and Threads. You connect with us on all of those. Talk to us. We'd love to hear from you. Lastly, we recently made a TikTok at Movie Night Extra where we're putting up short form clips from the episodes. Okay, passing this to Conan so he can tell you about his music and this week's Protonic Reversal. Conan, who's on Protonic this week?
That's right. So William Goldsmith of Sunday Real Estate and Assertion, and briefly for the Foo Fighters for Color and the Shape. That episode's at the general feed, protonicreversal.com for that. $1 a month for advance access, patreon.com/protonicreversal. A bunch of cool stuff coming up fairly soon. There's been a slight break on that, but I have not been doing a break from doing podcasts, let me tell you, because not only did I do a new episode of 1001 Album Complaints for Rock from the Crypt Scream Dracula Scream, which should be coming out pretty soon. I did a episode on the movie Life Force, the Tobe Hooper sci-fi movie Life Force, that it was follow-up to Poltergeist and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Big budget flop and one of the most insane movies I've ever seen in my entire life. And it's a very funny episode. This is a bonus episode I did with Sean McGrath and Josh Dugan of the Unkind Rewind. Funny stuff. And that just came out today, actually, so highly recommended. I basically thought this is never going to be a movie that we do in Movie Night Extravaganza. It's crazy. I don't know if anyone on the panel has seen it. You don't really need to, but it's an insane thing that a director has ever done with a blank check. It's incoherent. It's huge. There's a lot to it. Anyway, it's a very fun conversation, so check that out. I'm also going to be on FilmSplaining with Martin Strange, doing All the President's Men later this month, which will be during our Oscar coverage. Looking forward to that. He's had a lot of people that are in the show's orbit, like Phil Marinello, Martin McFly, so on and so on. So keep on the lookout for all that. Of course, Conan Neutron, The Secret Friends on tour, March and April. We're doing 3 shows with Mike Watt and Lung, and then we're going out with Red Cross through the South and Southwest. Southeast, and so on and so on. I don't know if I actually put the media asset in there for that flyer, but neutronfriends.bandcamp.com. I think we're not going any further north than Nashville on the East Coast, but we have some dates for the summer that we will be able to announce pretty soon. Should be a good one. We're going to be on a cruise with little Stevie Van Zandt. The Little Stevens Underground cruise. I've never been on a cruise before, so it's a weird way to be on it, but rock and roll has taken me a lot of weird places and will continue to do so. So neutronfriends.bandcamp.com, neutronfriends.com. We have the Neutron new record. Caterwall pass is going up, I think sometime later this month. We're monitoring the ICE situation pretty closely. It's kind of weird to be like, hey, everybody, rock and roll party while there's a military occupation of a city. Just saying. It's a little tasteless. But yeah, that's what's happening with me. Kristina, what do you got?
I've been shooting my ass off. The overnight, 2 o'clock in the morning to God knows before I go to work or whatever is doing pretty well for me for some reason because it seems like the overnight streamers are more willing to raid than the day streamers. So, and there's some pretty juicy ones, and it's been a lot of fun. A lot of people like it because I'm crankier at that time, despite getting sleep.
They like that, huh? Okay.
They like when I'm mad. They really like it when I'm pissed off, and they're like, "Yes, we love this," and I'm like, "Awesome." So, I've been doing that apparently, and also prepping for a We're Good for Good episode. Got my Alphaba cosplay ready.
That's right. We're talking about that.
Yeah. You guys like green girls, right? It's not easy being good. So, yeah, but yeah, that's what I've been.
What went wrong? What
yeah, but I've been doing that, and it seems to be doing pretty well for me. It's just trying to figure out a tight sleep schedule, and tell my mom I cannot be going to you can't be waking me up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I go to sleep at 10 in the morning to go and fetch your cigarettes for you. And when you could drive to stuff yourself, okay? You have a license, I don't. Do just write a list to go to grocery shop and it's fine. It's fine. Let me sleep. We'll have dinner a little early and then I can sleep some more. It'll be fine.
Of course, absurdity space, not, I had to preempt this week. Sorry, busy schedule.
Yeah, we had Adam McKay on twice. People are like, wow. And it's funny too because today's episode started with his little Heroes of Ice joke that he made.
That's right.
People were like, "Wait, what?"
We waited right until the end of the Adam McKay part of that episode, and then me and Kristina popped in and with the graphic that was
invited himself.
Oh, fantastic! That's great.
Yeah.
Did you know that reference, Eileen?
No.
So the director Adam McKay came back on to talk about the
I
awesome
knew that.
Knights of Cabiria, Fellini. But he pitched us a movie that we thought he was serious about, but that was not, in fact, serious.
Heroes of Ice, but sorry, Sylvester.
Called Heroes of
Stallone,
Ice, starring
we were
Sylvester Stallone. Yeah.
We were like, wait a minute. He's doing it early.
He got
Then
us,
he invited,
basically.
then he invited himself on 173 more times, so that's cool.
Well, because he has that the way of talking that everything sounds serious coming out of his mouth. And he's like, that's why I'm currently, he's like, politics of movies don't really matter that much. That's why I'm currently in, the reason that I'm in Ireland, because he was in Ireland when we were interviewing him. Yeah. He's like, the reason I'm in Dublin right now is I'm watching Sylvester Stallone working on his new picture, The Heroes of Ice.
Yeah.
And he did it it took us all a second to be
very casual
way. Yeah, it was pretty. He got us, basically. Suffice to say, he got us.
I would have bought that too, I think.
Yeah, he sounded so serious about it. It was like, well, maybe it's a satire. I don't know.
This is why he's had cameos in his own movies, with lines.
He's got a good deadpan. Exactly. Anything else, Kristina? Is that it for you?
Yeah, I think that is it.
We're supposed to say, by the way, we are not tonight because it's a different day, but usually we are cross correlated with this space, and right now this space is doing a big subscriber drive where they want everyone to follow, subscribe at youtube.com/thisspacetv. Share their content, ask other people to follow. It really helps out. Working class independent media collective some of your favorite left media people, if left media is your thing, are all on there.
This is like the least political show that's on that, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like the most political movie show, but it's like the least political.
But it was started by Ben Dixon and the Letter Hack, and I think one other person, I can't remember who it was. But by working together,
Ben Dixon, who's had on the Letter Hack, who we never let pick a movie, but we have him on all the time.
We got
sharing our content. Sharing our content supports individual creators in as much as it supports the entire project. By working together, we can break through the algorithm while we continue to speak truth to power and provide quality media at the same time. So subscribe, youtube.com/thisspacetv.
There you go.
Yeah, turn that into a short, Letter Hack.
Eileen, what do you got for plugs?
Actually, I'm going to be away for a while. I'm a panel member for Berlin, the Berlin Critics Week. It's a week-long event series that actually runs concurrently with the Berlinale, the Berlin Film Festival.
Wow.
And every night we showcase, I think it's virtually every night is going to be featuring a short. They're very wild, unique. We spent weeks and weeks, a couple of months, watching 9 million films, mostly art films. For me, this was a lot of pain, an intense amount of pain.
a lot of misery porn.
I love films of all kinds, but I'm a little uncomfortable with ultra reverence for art films. Luckily, they said, yes, that's why we want you here. We also want some genre films. We want things that you don't usually see at film festivals. So we really, broke our brains over this selection process.
Are you going? Are you doing it virtually, or are you going to?
Oh, I'm going. I'm going to be there for the week,
Hell
so
yeah.
that's nice.
That's nice.
Yeah. So I'll be actually 10 days total in Berlin, so that's fabulous. And really looking forward to that. That'll be exciting. And I love what I do love about Berlin Critics Week. It was started, I think it's 11 years ago now, because they felt that the standards of the Berlin Film Festival were too low.
Wow.
So initially a totally contentious relationship
Love it.
with the Berlin Film Festival.
I'm trying to think. Like, it does feel like you see a lot of pictures of kind of like the goofiest American celebrities at Berlin. Like, I feel like I've seen pictures of celebrities I'm surprised about that are
now it's part of the rotation of the major film festivals like Cannes and Venice.
Yeah.
And you also go to Berlin.
I feel like there's been movies that weren't nominated for anything else that I remember being nominated. Like, this one at the Berlin International Film Festival.
Right.
Yeah, I think they
the
felt
sad
they
orphan.
pulled out.
Okay, great. Yeah, awesome.
So anyway, and then while I'm away, so Loris and I have done an episode on the hated Hamnet, Conan's favorite movie. Not.
I seem to be the only one that hates it. I don't know.
That's why we did it, because not only is it up for a lot of Oscars, it's got this following. I mean, literally lines. There's still this thing's been playing a couple of months now in theaters, and it's doing gangbusters business. So we were just like, all right, I guess let's see what this is about. And, all right.
For me, it's an old school, like what we used to call Oscar bait. Is kind of movie is what I think. Anyway, whatever. It doesn't. My opinion of Hamnet is over represented on this show.
I went into it feeling the same dread. I thought I really expected to hate it, all of it, and I was quite irritated with it for most of the movie. It was just the ending. I have to say,
it has a digital. It now has a digital release, so I might use the $20 of the Patreon money.
Be the tiebreaker on that.
Yeah,
I mean yeah, okay. I've said enough. Well, I look forward to checking that out. It could be something where when I revisit it, I like it. That has happened before, not super often, but I did enjoy your FilmSuck episode on Testament of Anne Lee.
Yes.
I thought
Thank
that was
you.
very good.
You know what's the other day I missed this, but they did like a Testament of Anne Lee thing upstate, at Upstate Films. They actually had and I'm so mad I missed it because I've seen the advertisements that they've done since then where they're like Upstate Films, blah blah blah. But they actually had they had people from the cast come and talk about it.
Cool.
And I really wish I had been there for that.
Yeah,
but
I didn't even know about it. Yeah, I'm a sucker for anything about these weird old religions that used to flourish in New England and New York State, and
it's interesting they let, at least, I mean, I don't know if this is the case for their press run, because they're doing a press run right now for it. Amanda Seyfried is they've let her be center, at least here. Because I mean, she lives in the Catskills, so that might be why. But they've let her be the front and center face of this, rather than Mona Fastfold or Brady Corbet being the Yeah, so it's been interesting to see.
Because she doesn't say anything that's way too controversial besides, Charlie Kirk probably deserved it or whatever the hell, but it's great.
Well, that's the theory about why she got snubbed for the Oscar. She should have got an Oscar nomination.
Oh yeah.
Well, and a lot of people were.
I think that's why they.
A lot of people also assumed that main movie she did with Sydney Sweeney, which did very well.
They forced her to be in a movie with Sydney Sweeney, and I feel like it was because. Because
has anyone seen that thing? I haven't.
No,
it's mostly based on a story of when I cleaned a house at one time, which is kind of weird. So I'm like,
look. So what I'll say about Tess, I like Testament Van Lee. I think it's very unique and interesting. I enjoyed the episode because I thought it was a rare time where you love something and your co-host did not. So Dolores did not like it.
Dolores be the hater. I was so unexpected.
It was a great turnaround, and I got to say I laughed too when the people on the ship were like, "Shut up!" I was like, fantastic, because how annoying would it be if you're on this ship and everything sucks. Half the people have scurvy, everyone's wet, and these people are singing. Be silent.
At it again.
There they go. Great.
They have the first scene where they're in England and they've never seen anything like it because they're shaking Quakers. They're not even Shakers yet. And so they're making all the noise and the British, the old bobbies run in with the clubs and they're clubbing everybody.
Yeah.
They're all like, oh God. They're it's like a Monty Python sketch almost.
And it is a shame that it didn't even get some below the line nominations because some of the sound stuff that they do is just so incredible in that movie. And I was walked in and I don't know, we'll see about this. I really dug it. I thought it was cool. I think I get it when people are off-putted by it, but it's kind of supposed to be off-putting too.
Anything would have been better, I think, in my mind than The Brutalist. So I went in. I was like, as long as.
And I also enjoyed that you did an article in Jacobin about Send Help, which I loved.
You're plugging me better than I'm plugging me. Yes, I did.
It's like 5 hours of podcasting, and then we do plugs at the end. So
Yeah. Sam Raimi when he's on it is great fun, delightful.
I went almost on a whim. Really enjoyed it. You'll love to see it. And Rachel McAdams, badass.
She's always great.
It's been kind of unavoidable as a movie trailer, but I don't think the trailer. I haven't seen it yet. The trailer doesn't seem to do it any service.
Forget the trailer. It's nothing like that.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Yeah,
it's like she's working at a business. He's a new high-powered executive. On a plane.
It's like the trailer for Red Eye. This is like a rom-com on an airplane.
It's completely misleading. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Maybe they need to have a new. Maybe they're just not good at movies that take place partially on planes. They're just not good at.
Just refuse to go.
Oh man.
But starting with Eileen. Final thoughts on one battle after another. It took me a second. I was like, what movie are we talking about?
Testament of Van Lee, Send Help, whatever.
Whatever.
Have you seen a movie?
I thought it was great the first time. I watched it again, and I was like, it's even better than I thought. Whatever quibbles, reservations I had are gone. This is the one that I'm totally rooting for the Oscars, I have to say. Though there's a strong bunch of film. Several of the films are quite. I would be rooting for them too, but I really want to see One Battle do incredibly well. And again, I have to rethink Paul Thomas Anderson, which I kind of curse. Yeah. But on the other hand, I really accept I could be totally wrong. So based on this film,
watching There Will Be Blood for the first time and whatever, man, that movie goes hard. That's his. I think besides this movie, that's his best.
Yeah, and I haven't seen that since it came out. And of course, Daniel Day-Lewis is great in it. But I just had problems with aspects of it. But maybe I'm totally wrong, so I'll go back.
I think it's actually aged pretty well. That's one of the ones. So the ones that I really loved were Punch Drunk Love and that one, and I was kind of mediocre to kind of not loving this on the rest of them. But I'm interested in going back on some of them and maybe thinking that I just was short selling them for that same reason. I mean, I thought Licorice Pizza was fine. It was fine. It's a fine movie.
Boogie Nights, it goes really hard.
I haven't seen Boogie Nights since it came out.
So. Neither. I haven't, not since it came out. Yeah. So
I wonder if Mark Wahlberg still has that fake penis that's been deteriorating since 97.
Boogie Nights kind of blew me away with just how these farcical kind of like dark but also farcical things could be so beautifully shot. And it's like you don't expect it in the course of that movie. But Kristina, final thoughts on One Battle After Another, I think.
This is probably, I mean, Boogie Nights to me is my favorite Paul Thomas Anderson, and this is definitely, you know, tied for it for me. So yeah, I mean, great directing, great, like, you know, camera work, the acting, the sequences, the score, the music choices, you know, with, you know, dirty work. Jason Infiniti has a long career ahead of her, I believe. And I mean, it's kind of sad that, you know, I mean, it's Timothee's year. Apparently, they're going to give him a career Oscar at the age of 30. When I feel like Leonardo DiCaprio
should totally get it.
Yeah, it's either to me him or Michael B. Jordan at least. I mean, every 10 years since 2016, people, you gotta give Leo an Oscar once every 10 years. Come on, now, let's do it. Let's do it. Anyway,
Conan, final thought.
Yeah, look, this is some absolutely thrilling, incredible filmmaking. I think this is the one to beat for Best Picture. I think it's the most likely scenario is that it's going to win Best Picture. It's the perfect movie for the moment. I love that there's aspects of Pynchon and the Weather Underground, Black Panthers, and so on and so on, but also evokes things like Heat and The Searchers in 2025. Amazing. And it's, you know, it's a 2000s leftist insurgent guerrilla warfare style activism movie. I'm going to be mad at this, you know? And there's, I mentioned so many of the locations, you know, Humboldt County, the rolling hills in the desert. It's the cinematography, the framing of the scene in VistaVision was badass. But even if you can't see it in that, it holds your attention the entire time, and is honestly really, really engaging. And this is a long movie, and we all know what I think about long movies.
No! Wait, what do you think about long movies?
I did not know the runtime going into it, and I was like, oh yeah, I got to go on Dan's podcast right after I watch this, but it'll be fine. It's not, you know, I'll have plenty of time between the two things because I went in.
You were invited on Dan from the Web's podcast?
Well, all the way back in September.
Back in September. Okay, for me, that was like, wait a minute.
No, but I went on Dan's podcast. I realized by the time I got home, I did grocery shopping between. By the time I got home, it was 90 minutes before, and I was like, fuck.
So I think it's very funny that in some of the trailers it was sort of presented as a goofy Gen X conspiracy theory father comedy.
Yeah.
And like it was like, well, there's a little bit of that, but like it's not. That's not really what this is. But it is
radicalizing Gen X men, Conan.
Sure.
Because your generation needs some work. Just saying.
They do. They should have followed my lead.
They should not have been boomerification or whatever. Boomerfied. Like, what the hell?
I blame Friends. It's very funny. This is a very funny movie, and that's something that every time I rewatch it, it's actually become funnier.
Yes.
And I am, as stated many times, not a Paul Thomas Anderson super fan, although I've generally liked most of his movies. This is tied as one of my favorites. Probably the other one would be There Will Be Blood, and it's. I think it's actually a modern classic. People say that all the time. And last thing I'll say is that all the performances are top shelf, and DiCaprio had a career highlight, as mentioned. Del Toro, amazing. Chase Infiniti, relative newcomer to the movies. Specific shout out. Holy moly, though, Sean Penn, character straight out of Doctor Strangelove, one of the all-time freaky fucks. You know, I mean, respect and however he got there, I don't know, but I think this is an incredible ensemble. Everybody's working so well together and made something really special and cool. And it seems if Hamnet wins, I'm gonna freaking jump off a cliff. But other than that, I think One Battle After Another is gonna do very well this year, and it's deserved. It's deserved. I loved it. It's great. I've seen it 3 times now. 3 times.
You guys notice though they give Leonardo DiCaprio I don't know, in stages or whatever, he's either the most evil person you've ever seen, Killers of the Flower Moon. They give him shark teeth, and he's so fucking deeply evil. And then they give him this movie, and he's the hero of the movie. And and then or they give him like Django Unchained. He's like the most evil slave owner of all time, and then they give him like a Don't Look Up, where he's like a nice guy again. Like,
or he's a romantic lead like Jack Dawson in Titanic.
Yeah, he's never like oh,
or
here's
he's Howard Hughes.
Here for I guess it's because they have to pay him 15. They have to pay him 15
hardly
million.
pays like a normal role. I feel like Titanic was his most normal role.
Yeah, they have to pay him 15 million just for showing up, I guess. So that's probably why.
And Critters 3. Remember his film debut was Critters 3.
you don't.
I'm an OG Leo fan. Okay.
I wonder if this is how it happened that Paul Thomas Anderson got him for this. His dad's acting debut was in Licorice Pizza.
Oh.
His dad's the guy that owns the waterbed store.
Leo's dad?
Leo's dad.
Well, I read that
Leo's dad looks like fucking Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro tied to one. I mean, I've seen his parents, and I'm like,
when he was younger, now he looks like he would be Trump's doctor.
Yeah.
Well, supposedly Leonardo DiCaprio was offered Boogie Nights and turned it down, and always
to do Titanic, I think.
Yeah.
Well, that worked out fine for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, goddamn. I mean,
you can't. But you can't. Wait. Well, last thing before you can't tell me this guy would not be Trump's doctor. Hold on.
You can pull it up.
I mean, yeah.
Wait.
Ooh, God, Leo. I mean, he looks more like his mom. I mean, I've seen photos of his mom. She's blonde hair, blue eyed. Yeah.
All right.
Well, so here's real quick. Here's the schedule. Forrest, you and I are going to be doing our Oscar picks for in the after party, right? And then here's a schedule for the rest of the month. We got Wicked for Good, Marty Supreme, Blue Moon, Begonia, Secret Agent. Stay tuned, Movie Night Extravaganza. We'll break it all down for you. Hopefully, you'll be able to see some of these movies as Gen Pop people. We'll see. But yeah, we're gonna be doing Forrest and I'll be doing our Oscar picks in the after party as per.
Otherwise, you're gonna start sharpening the soap or whatever, because if you want to see these movies, it's a hard. The showers are a hard place to watch a movie these days.
I have a specific 2x4 on my shoulder about any movie that's in contention for the year before that regular humans can't see. Like, it bothers me. It bothers me a lot, actually. But
it's like, or they put it out right before. They're like, "See, we got it right on the date."
Made the deadline. Okay.
But yeah, so see you guys over there on the after party. Eileen, thanks so much for coming on to talk about fabulous. One battle after another. And happy Oscars season to all of us.